Hello and welcome everybody to session 40 of Curse of Strahd. I'm DBFig. Thank you all for showing on up, and a big thank you to Blueness for subscribing yet again, and thank you to Savannah Cooper for the follow. I really appreciate it. If you ever miss any of our sessions of Curse of Strahd, make sure to subscribe to the One Shot Tavern YouTube channel. That's where we upload all the VODs. So be it that you missed a session or you want to catch up and watch the whole story, you can do so over there. We really do appreciate your support. We're closing in about 150 subscribers over at the One Shot Tavern, so thank you guys so much. So before we move forward, let's pass it on to MTC, our DM, for any news or updates we might have today.
Fun news updates. The 16th of May, we will be taking a week off, but we will be back the week following that. And we will be here next week. So everything should be good with that. We just need a week off for some personal matters that have come up. Other than that, I don't really have any announcements other than a big shout out to the Bean Art, who is almost done with some very customized weapon art that should be displaying and debuting soon and will look amazing. And she does all the art for our campaign. She's great. And to the Afternoon Maps for all the wonderful maps that they have provided us for this wonderful campaign. Other than that, I think that's all I've got, my guy.
All right, sounds great. Well, let's go with character introductions before we jump into session 40. Again, I'm DBFig. I'm the host of this particular stream channel, but I play Kel'Maden, the feral tiefling monk, a man with the heart of gold and the brain of a stone. Passing on to Chi.
Hello, I am Osgood Nemo Wayburn, pyromaniac and crazy old man. I'm the cleric of the party now. Probably not going to heal anybody as per usual. Anyway, going on next, I believe it's Blueness?
Hi, I'm Blueness. I play a Zerel Tiefling Totem Barbarian, and I'm just along for the ride. Oh, and I'm a werewolf, yeah. And I'll pass it on to Nim?
No, I guess. I'll go next.
We found our voice.
Go for it, man.
It's fine. It's not a stream if it doesn't go wrong.
I mean, it was messed up from the first pass, so we're all good. But sorry.
Hi, I'm Nimue. I play Brenwyn Winter, a Dayborn Dampier rogue who is amazingly charming and keeps these guys out of trouble. Where are we at? MTC.
I am Mountain Troll Chief, the dungeon master of this wonderful brigade of fools, who I love very dearly and don't try to kill every session, I swear. But they're about to be in for some fun stuff. And over to the Wicked Lefty.
I'm the Wicked Lefty. I play Trovik, the Minotaur Barbarian Fighter, who is in for the fun.
And again, Team MVP. Except when he tries to murder all of us.
When was the last time we had a poll? I feel like we need to poll chat once it gets up.
Yeah, we need the poll chat to see who's MVP.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
I know we used to do it every 10 sessions or so, but I can't remember the last time we did it. Anyway.
Gotcha. See, I have that power. I could do a poll. And I could also skew the poll.
Kalma the all-powerful.
Exactly, Kalma the all-powerful.
You know, you put adjectives in between before everybody's names doesn't mean they're going to be voted for. It'll still be Trovik.
Pretty much. But all right, guys. So now the introductions are done. We want to welcome everybody again to session 40. And it is time for all of us to once again enter the Curse of Strahd.
Throw a punch.
So what kind of werewolf are you?
What kind of werewolf am I?
Yeah.
I'm
Are you a
a
werewolf
nice.
or are you like...
All right.
A dog.
Where
The
sharks
audacity.
exist, where rats exist.
I'm a
Mhm.
werewolf, though.
So
That's a dog.
Listen here. I'll
Oh
throw
my
some
goodness.
hands.
All right, go for it, MTC.
So last time on Curse of Strahd, you all did a bunch of stuffs, figuring out and planning some things, meeting a snake oil salesman to re up on some lockpicks and some things like that. You got a lot of lore dropped and information from Octavio and Esmeralda, who gave you some important things. And where we left the session off, you had run into town and found a flyer, basically kind of premonitioning what appears to be an execution, that apparently John was asked to be a part of. And I think we ended last session with Kelma and Branwyn, at least, pretty invigorated to go have a talk with the new supposed Lord of Valaki. But I believe that's where we left off, as you all were making a decision to go. So, with that,
Hmm.
Branwyn,
Yes.
Kelma, anybody else going with them?
I follow.
Well,
I mean, who would like to come see this woman?
I'll come.
Yes.
I don't know who we're singing, but I'm an inside old man, so I'll follow.
John is not going to go. He's going to stay with the people he's been guarded to guard. So, and you're not getting the vampire hunters out of their seats. So,
Doesn't surprise me.
hmm.
and Ms. Marks
Cool.
not moving either. So,
Kelma just
a
stands
regular
up.
party.
Kelma just stands up. He's like, "Well, let's go talk to this leader, another stupid lord of whatever,
Lady,
Lady.
but yes.
Lady.
Of things.
I don't know, person who thinks they have power. Hey,
Still think
John.
it's a stupid idea.
again, make sure to watch everybody and don't do anything until we come back. All right."
Of course, of course. Do you know where she resides? You kind of step back into the pub. It's any kind of things for a moment. It's up the northern ward, about 10 houses down on the left-hand side.
All right. You hear that, Branwyn?
I mean, maybe?
Does that mean anything to you? Possibly not, but he tells it to you.
Yeah,
like you're
it
local.
does. Cool. I've been to Northern Wood already. Let's
You have
go.
been to the northern ward already.
All right.
So the group offs into the city, and up to the northern ward.
Middle of the evening.
Middle of the evening, in Valaki. And firstly, you come across the dark house that you had previously attempted to look into.
Mhm.
And just a few doors down from that house is number 7. You get to what is this illustrious looking manor. However, it looks like it's seen some better days. Let's see, that's not the right page. That's the right page. Oh, pages. Yeah, the house itself is kind of like a slouchy roof. Moss covers the walls, and the walls just kind of like sag and bulge a little bit under some heavy vines that kind of grow up the side of the building. It's a very large house, 3-story, but or 2-story at least, but it's kind of set in the earth at this point. But it's a house. There are lights on, and you do notice that there are 2 guards standing out front of the house. I would say you're about here once you get to where you go. That's not the
Here?
map that you're on. Yep, you're not on the map. Here
We're
you
not
go.
on the map. We're still in the pub.
I got you. Yep.
Still
I
in the
know.
pub.
I've done things. Yes, I'm sorry. So you would go from the pub, which is this orange building here, to the northern ward, and you would get to about here-ish where you see this building.
Cool.
Well,
And there are 2 guards standing posted outside the front door. They also look like more militia rather than trained guard.
Cool. I'm just going to give everyone a glance and shrug and walk up to them.
Absolutely. And you
Yeah.
do so. They
Unless
would,
anyone stops me.
yeah, I was about to say they would stop
I'll
you
follow.
unless the
I
party's
mean-
stopping you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Unless the party stops me, I'm walking up to the guards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no. And I think Osgood said that he's backing you up.
Fair enough. All right. So, as you walk up to the guards, they would hail you and stop you. One of them, squatter male, is just gonna, excuse me, no one's allowed on Lady Walker's premise without appointment or permissions.
Well, I was hoping to get an appointment. My name is Lady Bramwin Winter, and I would like to speak with Mistress of the House.
He kind of looks and taken aback at your eloquence. Pauses for a moment and kind of leans over to the other guard and whispers to him. Kind of leans back. Kind of looks you up and down. One moment. And he kind of opens the door and steps inside, shuts the door back behind him as you all are kind of left in the street for a few moments.
I'm gonna look around.
I'll sort of
just to
glance
see.
to the other guard. Oh,
Absolutely. Looking around, yes. Let's look around.
also to
You
the
are
other
more
guard, Osgood kind of puffs himself up. I do hope you don't keep our lovely Lady Winter waiting.
Well, give me a second. I will get you all to where you can do things. But yes, you are on saying to the guy, and he acknowledges that. Just kind of shakes his head. And a map.
Am
An actual map.
Map.
Scroll.
I'm about to say it's a dark map. It's a map now.
We're
It's a
doomed.
map.
We've gone to the Shadow Realm.
We've been there for 40 sessions.
We
And
failed
a
the
few moments
Yu-Gi-Oh.
pass, and the guard comes back. Lady Winter, indeed, Lady Walker is expecting you, and seems you brought your entourage.
Insight check to that guy saying that that they were expecting us.
Make an insight check.
We have been invited already.
Oh,
Oh my god!
You think this man is lying through his teeth. It's full of shit. This is a trap.
Rough.
Come
First
on.
roll of the night
I
doesn't
mean-
bode well.
Yep.
No, first roll doesn't bode well.
Come on, like stiffens up a little bit, and he kind of like has his hand on his staff, but like not in a defensive way, just kind of like using like a walking stick.
Oh god.
Sorry, missed. That was on my end.
It's all good. He kind of like, if you just follow us this way.
Of course.
And the door is open, and the door beyond it is open, and I need to figure out a thing. Give me a second. DM seconds of fun. Oh no, who died? Somebody died. Is somebody back?
My internet just went crazy.
Oh
Oh,
no.
Oh.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I
You're
think
dying? I can now hear the music. Oh, it's only been.
I was
20
like, there's a
minutes and I can
roll?
now hear the music.
I didn't see the roll.
There's
Wait,
music.
what? There's music?
There's
Oh.
music?
Excellent.
Oh my god.
There's a track.
There's a track. It's not music per se. It's a track.
Okay.
Okay, words and music lady, calm yourself. Anyway, yes, the front door opens into a narrow vestibule. You can see beyond it, and there are doors that are now opened as they do a thing, and they would invite you to follow. One guard leading, and the other guard would wait for you all to pass by and would lead you in if you follow one by one.
Are you moving, Osgood? Okay.
Security and statement.
But
And
yeah,
you would
totally.
come into.
I'm pretending to be a bodyguard.
That's fine. No,
Yeah,
slide
see-
I
you
am
up.
pretending to be a bodyguard.
I'm about to say
I
it's
think
like
everyone is pretending to
Pretend
be a
to be a
bodyguard, and
I-
let's be
I-
quite honest, you really are. Because
Yeah.
I
I
think
will go
everybody's just
down
kind
at
of-
a
yeah.
flick.
I feel like it's accurate.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just thinking like the
So
head
as you all
bodyguard
walk
is an
through,
old man,
just
and yet
like-
there's these 2 tieflings and a giant minotaur.
Quite the
Yeah.
bodyguard.
So, you kind of walk through this door and through this side door. You do notice a staircase that goes up. It's a heavy wooden staircase that leads up to a balcony. And there's each one of these doors that you're passing through, and the closed doors have stained glass frames on them.
Hmm.
As you're brought into this room where a lady is sitting on a couch. You are in this room sideways, over here. Sorry, yes. Everybody up and one and up and in. There you go. My fault. And Trovic, if you would go in as well, you would be there to there, to there, to there, and the guard would come in behind and shut this door. These guards. And as you all kind of enter this room, you just see middle-aged woman, very. Is there a handout? I think there's a handout. There's a walkthrough handout, because of course there is. NPCs, where's she at? Lady. There she is. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. She's a thing.
Hmm.
Mm.
She's a lady.
Looking kind of sus.
Yes.
Kind of
Hmm.
sus.
And her
Just
little
kinda
dragon
sus.
thing is kind of sus too. They
It's
both
not
look
a
sus.
dragon.
The dragon
That's
thing is
cool.
kind of
It's an
sus.
imp. It's
Imp.
an imp, isn't it?
Yeah, she does have an imp.
You've
However,
seen
she is
imps
sitting
before.
on a what appears to be a red love seat.
Oh.
With a wooden table in front and a
yes,
small
it's-
fire in the fireplace.
She'll take prison guard.
Thank you for accepting my invitation on such swift notice. I appreciate that you were able to make it before the festivities.
Oh, but of course, we had to come see you before the grand event.
She kind of looks and smirks. It's a bit late for what I needed to talk to you about, but I don't see why you couldn't be my honored guest, helping champion my new reign of this land.
Hmm. Yeah.
would-
Carry on. She's still talking.
It would give me a little more. What's the word? Credibility, but in a fancy way. Legitimacy. There we go.
Yes.
Legitimacy. Yeah.
It would give my rule more legitimacy. Yeah, I did invite you to dinner. Please. It's not much, but I can get something whipped up if you'd like. I wasn't expecting you tonight.
Sorry, I'm having to look up a name.
She said she was expecting us, and then never mind.
She was expecting you all to visit at some point, yes. You're invited to have an audience. You weren't
I
there
just-
for that message of audience, but yes.
But I do believe it is to be a coalition between you and Mr. Van Holtz. I have met him before.
She kind of smiles. He's one of the good ones. He's loyal, trusting, wealthy, powerful.
Hmm.
He's a good one to have on your side for sure. What do you think of him?
Hmm.
Hard glance at Kelma.
Kama is keeping as much as his face as solid as possible. He almost has tears welling up in his eyes because he wants to laugh.
Make a performance. No, let me stop. No. Okay, fair enough. He's trying to hold it back. Okay, I got you.
He's
Okay.
trying.
Trying to hold it back. Let's see. She wouldn't be focusing on you, so she probably wouldn't even notice. Okay. And the guard has posted up one in the door frame behind Trovic and the other standing along the wall.
Yeah.
But
I'm afraid I haven't had long in his presence so far, but he's decent with a sword.
she kind of looks and just amused. Really, I hadn't had ever seen him perform, but it's good to know he's not lacking.
Kamal sits on the table and puts his head on the table.
Mhm. And she kind of like snaps to one of the guards. Would you send for one of the servants? Tell them to fetch some tea. We have guests. And the guard kind of like looks a little trudgingly and kind of shuffles out and tries to wedge past Trovic as best as he can.
It's good
And
luck.
would eventually squeeze through and kind of run through this door over here and disappear into another room. And as that door opens, you would see, Trovic, if you look through it, a pile of firewood and another small furnace before the door shut again. She kind of looks at you all. Well, my proposal is simple. Show up, accompany me to the festival. When I declare myself to be the rightful ruler of Valaki, you stand and applaud, showing favoritism. It would be such a nice gift to a new ruler.
Slow and take a breath
And
on my end.
you would still be allowed to do as you will in the town. None of the guard would bother you for sure.
Is indeed a fine thought. But I have to say this business is all rather gruesome.
When you usurp thrones, you don't leave heirs. That said, I have my own issues with the Burgermeister's family. She kind of like looks off into the distance, off to one of the doors behind her, and then kind of looks back. Anyway, when we kill the Burgermeister in the public square, I take over Valaki, and the people get a leader who can do something, a leader who can try to make their lives better through frivolous festivals and waste everybody's time with celebrations that are for naught. She kind of looks at you, Branwyn. You've met Mr. Von Holtz. You all have.
Most
Have
of
you,
us.
kind of looks around the group. Have you met the lord of this land?
We have had such a meeting, yes.
She kind of smiles. And what do you think?
He certainly lives up to the reputation that I have been hearing.
She kind of smiles. Doesn't he, though? But anyway, enough of that.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Absolutely. Anybody else in the room who's doing anything who'd like to do anything is more than welcome to this conversation. It's just
I'm Kelmo's just watching, and he's
and also
trying
feel free to interject whenever you wish.
Yeah. It's like Brandon beat me to the punch because I was going to insight check that as well. But anyway,
Dude,
I mean,
please
you're
do.
coming from a different perspective. You absolutely can. Like, this is
Yeah.
not a. She would do it with advantage. You're not helping her insight check
Okay.
it. You're doing it from two different points of the room.
Yeah.
I would say
I would
that's completely
probably
fair.
be inclined to as well. But
Yeah, I mean, if
Can
you
I give
feel like
Kelmond
something's
advantage?
fishy, you can ask about it. You can do that in any situation. Realistically, it's just you
Okay.
continue to interject into situations by asking questions like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can interject and figure that out on your own and try and figure out what your character knows anytime you want.
Okay.
But if you continually try to cut into the story and interject, that may change the dialogue of what happens. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Like, it's the same thing. Like, you can perceive what you think about it
Yeah.
whenever,
Gotcha.
especially in this situation. But like, if
Yeah.
you're trying
Do
to
tell
figure
me to shut
something
up.
out, you
That's-
compare. Yes.
Huh,
Okay. Perfect.
that might be rather high.
Branwyn, she seems a little happy when she said, doesn't he though? Kelma, you notice a tone of intrigue in her voice when she says this line. And it kind of throws you off a bit, but nothing in Barovia really throws you off anymore. And Osgood, something's up. She seems very enamored with a lord of this land, from what you can
I'm
tell
gonna
just
look
from the
at-
way she said that. But
Yeah.
as she says
Okay.
that, yeah, she's gonna kind of isn't he though? He's gonna
Nib
like
would hear it in
smile.
her head.
He's into him. She's
She.
into him.
He says.
She.
Sorry, I should have that.
Yes.
Kelma has kind of just he sat down in the chair, and now he's like sitting up. But this time he's no longer like holding in laughter. He's beginning to look angry.
So having this small talk around a campfire, or around a fireplace. Campfire. That's the lighting token name that I've got on things. But a moment or two later, a servant girl comes in, accompanied by the same guard. And she is carrying a tray with a number of teacups on it.
And while those things are walking by, we see the imp on her shoulder, right?
The imp is not present on her shoulder.
Oh,
That
okay.
is just the artwork. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay, never mind.
No, the imp is not present on her shoulder. I just have no way to get rid of the imp.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She does have an imp. It's just not here.
Okay.
But that's for another time. Yes, as they kind of walk through, and the lady does begin to set the tea down on the table, and kind of like does a small bow and kind of a nod, look in Miss Walker's direction before you notice Fiona nods her head slightly, and the girl begins to walk out past the guard and out into the other room. She kind of like smiles. Feel free. I apologize, but I'm quite comfy where I am. You understand. It's been a long day of logistics.
Oh, if you would like some, I could always pour some for us both.
Oh, please, my lady, allow me.
I put my cup down just to see for a cup of tea, and I kind of give like Branwyn a little look of just like this mistrust of like whatever this tea is.
Yeah, and Fiona would ask you if you'd be so kind to pour her a glass or a cup.
I think Osgood said he was going to pour some for both.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
hear.
I was also going to say. Is it, since I haven't casted anything, can I swap a spell around? I can swap
still-
spells at the start of the day, right?
It's still the same day as when we were
Same
doing
days when
stuff.
you were
Yeah.
doing stuff. So
So
yeah.
whatever you
I was
have
gonna
set.
say,
So if you cast a spell within the day of today at all, I would say no. If you haven't, then a switch can still happen because it
I
hasn't
don't-
technically happened. But don't.
I'm not even sure I have, is the thing.
What
was just
spell are you
thinking-
trying to use?
I think
'Cause I
the
don't wanna
detect
muddle
food
down
and
on
drink
this
is
for-
first level,
Yeah,
or detect
it's
poison or
either-
whatever.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to think, because we were at the Wizard of Wines, we spent the night there,
Hmm.
and then we
Depending on
went
your
to
chain
Kazan's
action.
Tower,
Mhm.
and then
Next
we
round's
didn't
is
do that.
first, the runs back to Valaki.
Oh yeah, we went that way around from Perez, then back Wizard of Wines.
And then back to Valaki. Yeah.
Yeah. So you haven't cast anything?
No, you haven't cast anything. Yeah, so you could use it.
Could I cast detect poison and disease on the tea?
Sure.
I will do so.
Alright. After you cast the spell, you detect no poison and no disease. It's tea.
He nods
It's hot.
casually and does what any other normal person would do with pouring tea. He has a bit more dexterity to this than he would let on as well. There's something about that, but probably nothing that he would really give away. Steps back.
So, pour tea.
I'm gonna take her cup and come up to her and hand it to her. And I would
Mhm.
like to do a perception check to see what I can just notice about her in general.
Absolutely. Make a perception check for
You,
me. Roll high, you got this.
Hey,
I do
wow.
got this.
Yeah, you do. You got everything. You see
Oh,
into
yeah.
her soul.
Hurrah!
Let's go.
Okay. So, as you get up to her, you notice she's a lot older than she looked from a distance. Her face is a little bit stretched and gaunt over her skin is stretched and gaunt over her face. Her clothes very pristine, very well to do. She has a very, you can't quite place the smell, but it's a smell you smelled being in libraries a lot. It's just a very
Yeah.
musty book kind of smell surrounding her as you kind of get closer. She has a necklace on, made of little bits of gold and silver. It's kind of gaudy, actually, once you kind of get up and look at it. And it does have a small trinket on the end. And as you kind of get close and hand her the cup and you look over at her neck, you do notice that it is an upside down pentagram.
Okay.
But other than that, that's what you would notice. And she kind of takes the tea from you and smiles and sips the tea and puts it back down. You've come so willingly, and you haven't said no to my offer. Does that mean you would accompany me to the festival? A lot of the townsfolk seem to hold your troop in high regard.
Well, we tend to do stuff that people in charge don't do, which means actually help people.
Kind of looks and nods. Yeah. The Burgermeister was always in for it for himself. I actually want this town to do well and be successful.
What
I
are
don't
you,
think
what
we
are
need to
you
be
going to
living in
do?
our
What are you going to do
first-
other than, licking Strahd's boots?
kind of looks and
Sure.
smiles. I would not have the town and the city cowering in fear of such a great man and a great lord. If we don't fear Lord Strahd, he looks positively upon us, and we don't have anything to worry about.
Hmm. I don't even drink. I have the tea in my hand. I don't even drink the tea. I just kind of put it on the table. I'm just like, sure.
I mean, the other option is throw a festival every week, live in fear, claim that all will be well. See how well that's worked. Between the vampires, the coffin makers burning down, a quarter of the town attempting to be poisoned, more vampires, werewolves. He's doing a bang-up job, isn't he? Is it really worth standing against?
It is to be said that although he can try to prevent such things, they were beyond his power. Man
just
can
kind
only
of-
do so much.
And I
She
want
kind of looks-
to insight check all that
Mm.
what she just said, because she seems to be having more knowledge that maybe even the Burgermeister would have had.
Make an insight check. Just a singular one.
Nope, that's
Wow.
2. Jesus.
Nope, too. Wow.
It makes a lot of sense. She's not right, but a lot of shit did happen, and this guy's kind of in charge.
Camel's insight is like wholly off right now.
Yeah, you're just not in a happy place. You're not in your happy place, sir.
It's-
But yeah, she kind of
it's
continues to
too
go
late at
on. It's
night.
just I can't. Before you think it's a me against him thing, it's not. It's this town could be under much better management. The people could not be living in fear. Some sort of deal could be struck with our Lord. Instead of denying his existence altogether like that fool does. It's clear. Lord Strahd exists. He's not just some name in a castle. He's there. If we ignore him, what's the point? She just kind of like resides and takes another sip of her tea. And I need to do a thing. Things. Okay, boom. Yes. But and she kind of sits back and pauses for a moment. Just sips her tea and kind of looks around the room, reading all of your faces.
Slow nod on my end.
Perhaps a slightly more frank conversation is necessary. How am I going to word this? Sorry, I'm actually trying to think how I'm wording this.
Crinkle.
If we could speak for a moment, just us. No, I'm not going to do that. That's bad. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say that. I'm not doing what I was about to do. That's fine.
Okay.
That would have been bad.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Am I allowed my advantage?
I would say so. You're not hostile.
Wonderful. Yep.
Nice. She kind of looks at one of the guards and nods. Stand outside the room, please. And steps out into the hallway. The door shuts.
Come on. Oh, you want to do it? I was good.
I was
gonna
gonna
guard the
leave
door.
the room because they were saying just the two of us. So I was like, oh,
No,
alright,
no,
cool.
I meant us and her.
Oh,
So, Kelman, you're going over to guard the door?
Door. I'm just doing my normal, like, listening to make sure there's not anybody
Right.
doing
Yeah.
something dumb.
Okay. She gets a little nervous as you walk over to the door on the other side of it, but
He's a god. That's his job.
she kind of looks over to you. You have my attention.
So, about all the pleasantries and nonsense that comes with being what we are, I'm going to be frank with you. Me and my friends don't not like that you are planning to kill children. We, on the other hand, can potentially get you a meeting with Strahd. Perhaps an arrangement can be made.
She kind of looks and smiles. Well, she thinks for a moment. In truth, his children went to try and stand up to me, and that was to be made quite clear with them. And his wife doesn't even love him, so it's not much of a problem.
Which
But-
one?
Oh, I'm sorry, the Burgermeister.
Oh, the
Apologies.
bigger man.
6 from the
It's like, whose wife?
She's contemplating your proposal.
Yeah.
about killing children. And she's kind of looking this over. Problem is, my daughter still afflicted by the eldest son.
I see.
Long story short, I had tried to wed my way into a leadership role. But when she went over to their establishment, or their manor, yes. She returned not but 2 days later, with all manner of ailment and affliction, and cannot let it stand. She's not herself. If you were to see her, you would understand immediately. But
Well, then let's see her.
I look
For
at
the reason-
Osgood. It
My
just so
lady.
happens. Okay, carry on. Osgood.
yeah,
I am a cleric. I
Kinda
am.
looks over and smiles.
Have you had a priest have a look at her?
Donovich and I aren't on the best of terms, seeing as I've recently threatened to kill his sister.
Slow nod. I suppose that would sour relations. He nods a couple more times. I could have a look at her for you, if that is what you would wish. No guarantees I might be able to heal her. I'm not exactly powerful, but I am a healer, nonetheless.
She kind of looks. Basic magics and basic spells I can do. None of that will
How about restoration?
work. She kind of looks at you for a moment. You could certainly try. I just don't see it being fruitful, but who am I to stop you? If you'd like one of the guards to escort you to Stella's room.
Please. It's always worth a shot, no matter how slim.
Or we could bring her in front of us, but I can't guarantee that it wouldn't disturb the situation we have here.
Would you put such trust in me?
I don't think you could do anything worse to her.
Aye, that's a fair point. Well then, gives a
So,
low bow.
so as you off towards the door, one of the guards, as you open the door, is standing there. She would just shout out to to Stella's room, and nowhere else. The guard kind of nods and would start to escort you through the house, Chi.
Cool.
If you want to come through the house, you would go to. I will move you to a door and a room and a floor. Don't move yourself.
Sure.
There you go.
Oh God, I've teleported.
You have teleported.
Oh God,
You're on another floor. Scroll up. Have fun.
I climbed stairs.
You're in a hallway and on a thing, yes. And now you're at a door and doing a thing.
Oh, it's green.
Yeah, other screen. And while you're
Ah.
doing that, load screens all day. I'll put you in a room to do a thing, but you're there for a moment. And as that's happening, the rest of you, if your friend can fix my daughter's ailment, then that would be one way to do it. I know that little bastard put some sort of a curse on her. Nothing else, he should be able to remove it. Never liked that damn Victor anyway. He wasn't the head son of Valkalovich's. I wouldn't even have bothered with him. Like stern, angry look on her face.
You think him capable of such a curse that could... I mean, I don't know her condition, but it sounds...
I don't know what oddities they possess. It's all manner of strange things with that family. You've seen the guy with the arm.
Hmm.
How did he get that, I wonder? Well, family's a bunch of loons, if you ask.
Oh, this land is a bit weird to begin with.
Kind of nods. Aye, but it is our land.
Your land.
Five generations of Wakta blood run through this land. It is as much our land as it is our lord's. She kind of says so with a stiff upper lip. Osgood, you walk into a room after being led up there by a guard, and you see a girl.
Wow.
It's a grill.
Never seen one of those before.
Yeah,
A
the
grill?
room itself is pretty dark,
Grill.
and musty smelling. And you
she's
see
she's on a different floor, right?
she's on a different
Yeah.
floor. Yes.
Okay.
I can
try-
move you to a floor.
Yeah,
for
so I was
floor
trying to
reasons.
show what Oz was doing.
I got you. I'm moving you. Dragging you.
Camera.
Yeah, I'm the camera.
You're the camera.
Oh,
Yes. So Osgood, you see a room, and you're in a room, and Kelma, you're the camera, so
Wow.
you're also in a room. That room should illuminate. I don't know why it's not. Of course it's not. Anyway, but yeah, so that room, oopa-doopa-doopa-doo. It's a musty, somewhat dark room with a small candle in the corner. No window in this room. And you see a iron bed in the corner with leather straps on top of it.
Right.
As the door opens and you walk into the room, a creature just like on all fours down on the floor, kind of in front of you as this door opens, just kind of like scurries away to the corner of the room and runs over to the corner of the room. And as you kind of like focus your eyes and look through the candlelight, you notice it's a young woman, in a dirty, dirt-covered nightgown. And immediately as you walk into the room and just kind of look into the room, she jumps onto the bed itself and she just lets out this ferocious hiss. Oh, you can't see. Why can't you see?
I can say.
You can see? Why does my token say you can't see? Why is my Roll20 messed up? Anyway,
I mean,
you
the
can see.
token's there.
Cool. That's good. As long as you can see, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, she jumps onto the bed on all fours and just sits there and just lets out a loud hiss. She's like, little
Osgood
kitty doesn't
sorta-
know you, she shouts out.
Osgood holds up a hand.
She kind of looks at you. She jumps off the bed and walks towards you on all fours.
I mean no harm.
She kind of like smells your hand for a second, and she kind of jumps back onto the bed and hisses once again. Little kitty doesn't like your smell.
Well, I'm an old man. What could I possibly do?
Kind of like sits on the bed and just kind of looks at you, eyes open and big and intense.
I could help you, I think. Maybe.
She
I'm
kinda
here to
looks at
check.
you. But Kitty doesn't know you.
I know you don't, but not a lot of people here. I'm afraid that I'm a bit of a reclusive individual, me. He sort
What
of
is
sits.
recluse?
I like to hide a lot.
Kitty
Sort
like
of
to hide.
smiles
And kind
quietly.
of jumps in the corner,
Indeed.
and darts away from you.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
this is the whole thing. This is going on while you all are downstairs. Kind of simulcasting. So, would you like to do anything while you're in the room with a girl that is acting like
Can
a cat
I
and
make
hiding
an
in the corner?
Arcana check?
Sure.
Oh shit!
Jesus, man.
Man.
She's cursed in
Do I
some kind
even
of
think
way.
this is? Do I even think this is possible for someone like me to remove?
I don't know. I mean, you've seen curses before. I don't know if you have the strength to
Seems-
remove a curse, but I know you've seen curses. This girl's definitely cursed in some way. Like, you're full and well aware she thinks she's a cat. She
Let
still
me
talks like a
look.
human. She expresses thoughts, but she talks like a cat, acts like a cat. She thinks she's little kitty.
Remove curse is not something that I know, but I do know cure. I do
I'll ask you
know.
this: what restorations do you know?
Rest. I just have lesser for now.
Yeah, that would
Still
not be
pretty
enough.
simple. Not enough.
You probably not have enough to remove a curse with lesser. Lesser removes like status conditions
And diseases.
and diseases. Yeah, curses are a whole other matter. Kind of in a
Yeah.
greater and remove curse department. So I'd say you would see this girl and probably understand that she's beyond your capabilities.
He nods slowly. Can I check over my equipment real quick? Give me a minute.
What's that?
I'm just checking over my equipment real quick.
Absolutely. And as you're doing that, downstairs, and if your friend can't help for some reason, the boy could remove the curse. I would let him and his siblings live. I would even allow their mother to live, along the conditions that none of them tried to retake the throne. Well, the seat, as it were.
I don't know if this does this.
And I may be able to let their deaths slide. Wouldn't want to upset the champions of Valaki.
And indeed, I find the people prefer less bloodshed.
We could all do with less bloodshed. Some blood has been spilled in this town for a number of months. Only necessary blood need be bled. But the Burgermeister has committed too many crimes against his own people. He will suffer.
Well, perhaps while
That
my
being
friend
said,
is...
oh, sorry, go for it. No, you.
If she's still speaking, let her still speak.
Apologies. That being said, we do have means of access to the Burgermeister's son if you need to go and handle this problem. If you're so invested in making sure children and his wife are unharmed. But
I can certainly try that avenue while our friend sees
if
what
your friend's
his heart
unsuccessful,
can
of
do.
course.
Hmm.
If he can remove this, then all is well.
Hmm.
Oh, God, I hate that phrase. But yeah, Osgood, you would realize that it's probably a lost cause up
Yeah.
there, buddy.
He would nod and kind of shake his head. I can't help you for now, but I can help you in the future. It's just going to take a bit of time.
Kind of looks at you and then starts
I
licking the
also
back of
know
her
people
hand. And she kind of like turns her back to you and kind of looks up at the wall. Then you see her kind of jump and try and kick off the wall and land on the bed.
This is. He sort of. There's like an amused grin on his face as he looks at this, and he sort of nods casually.
The
I will
guard
be
kind of
back.
shuts the door as you're saying this.
I believe. Back downstairs.
All right, back downstairs. Cool. All right. So, as you come back downstairs and re-enter into the room, Stella Fiona kind of looks in your direction. And, well,
Not something I can handle now, but something I can handle in the future. I also could possibly talk and maybe see if I can get the priest to put aside his differences. You never know. I am one of his clergy. You never know.
if you're talking about the priest in St. Andrews, I know he's not strong enough. But anyway, I guess, and she kind of looks back over at Branwen. I guess that leaves option B.
When magic fails, perhaps words can prevail.
Yeah.
And common sense.
You would
What,
think.
in Barovia? In this economy?
But she kind of pauses for a moment, snaps her fingers, and you see on the table in front of her, which there were a couple of bits of paper and a small little inkwell. The quill kind of blots itself in the ink and begins writing a small note. And she kind of like, she's almost like twirling her finger with the writing of it, but she's not quite scribing it, if that makes sense.
Oh, for those in real life.
What's that?
Oh, for a magic pen in real life.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And as you kind of see her finish, she kind of smirks and a small, actually, yeah, everybody make me a perception check.
Drone pen.
The piece of paper kind of begins to float off of the pen, or the quill kind of sinks itself back into the ink, and the paper begins to float up off of the. Jesus, good God, you! Oh, fair enough. Somebody had to fail it. But yeah, you would see, and Wicked, if you want to make one, you can. But everybody else has already kind of seen. Nim sees all, but the rest of you would see.
What are we looking
Most of you in the room at distance would notice this piece of paper levitate off the table and begin to float towards Branwen. However, Branwen, Osgood, you would maybe notice this. Branwen, you would notice that there's a slight droop to the letter as it floats in the air towards you. And it kind of stops in front of you and is slightly
out of
hovering up and down in front of you.
out of pure curiosity? Savari will, as it's going towards her, she just sort of put her hand out near the back of the letter or the paper.
I'm sure, reach your hand. It's gonna be fun. Let's see. Fun stuff. What is my friend gonna do?
Get spitten.
That's about right.
It's a floating mimic.
Should be a floating mimic.
Everything's a mimic. Strahd's a mimic.
Everything is a mimic.
Strahd's a mimic.
As you reach out and your hand makes contact with something that is still invisible. And
Oh my lord!
I need you to. Yeah, that's a 24 to hit for 4 piercing and 13 poison damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I need you to make the Constitution saving throw for me. DC 11. It's 4 piercing damage and 7 poison damage. Poison's half because you made the save. As something reaches out and like bites into your hand, and you just feel the surging pain and just like a small bit of poison course through your hand. As the letter kind of flaps violently in the air in front of Branwen. And you just hear just like a cursing in Infernal. Just like,
Oh, what does he say?
I speak Infernal.
And-
Would I
and-
understand
and-
it?
There are 3 people in this party that
I'm
speak
aware.
Infernal.
And
This is great.
and immediately when that
Four.
happens, when I see Savari get like bit by this invisible whatever, I immediately do like a karate chop straight down in between the letter and
Oi.
stuff. And
God.
I yell in Infernal, "Let her go!"
I mean, it bit and released. It's just like flapping in front of Branwen at this
Oh.
point. But
So
it's
he's
still
just
invisible.
striking
You can't
towards
see
the
anything, so
paper.
you're swinging towards the paper. So make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you are swinging into the mist.
That's a
Good.
crit. Oh my god!
Okay, so the
Cool.
20 is what hits. So not the because it's disadvantage.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's still crit damage. Well, shit, Jesus Christ! Popped it on the head. So you pop this thing, and you just hear it scream out again as you swing down, and now it's curses of, "Hey, get your damn hands off me! What the hell?" Or now accompanied with, "Ow, that fucking hurt! You son of a! Swear to God, I'll rip your head off!"
In Infernal, I
Angry
reply,
shouting from the
"You know
Infernal.
the idiot."
Yeah, I just I at that point, like after I know because I know it's there now, I immediately just like grab onto it and I just yell like, "Oh, don't bite anyone again."
Make a grapple check with disadvantage.
What would be a grapple?
Strength check. Strength.
Strength.
Brenwyn is just there, like,
You're watching him
what
attempt to
the
grab an invisible
actual
thing.
hell?
As you reach out into the air in front of you and attempt to grab onto something, you're just whiffing into the air at this point. The letter has been flying down through the air and is now floating towards the ground, towards Brandon's feet, by the way.
I mean, I'm gonna
Yes,
get
I would
grab
recommend
it.
Yeah, I mean, you would
recall
catch
whatever
it.
you have.
And written on there is just general instruction on order of Lord Fiona Wachter.
Lord,
Allow
oh
these
my-
persons passage into the Burgomeister's manor under penalty of death.
Savari in Infernal will say it's not very often that you see an imp.
Still invisible. It's not very often that people try and grab my fucking invisible ass.
Well,
The
it's
hell?
not like I knew you were there. I'm still talking in Infernal.
I know. I mean, you're hearing this in Infernal, and the room can hear
Yeah.
Infernal just being shouted, but anybody can hear Infernal and understand it. It's just like, oh, yeah, this is a thing that's happening.
Make yourself visible right now, or I'll punch you again.
You can't see me, idiot.
And I swing
Never
again.
gonna hit me.
Hands down.
You can swing all day. Make an attack roll
And
with
I
disadvantage.
duck.
Not the same.
I do the
What
same
all
thing.
day. You swing into the area where you think it is, and you just whiff completely.
A 24?
21.
whiff.
Oh,
It's not in the same space it was. It's invisible, and it has moved around the room. And it's an imp. She thought it was going to stay in the same spot to get whacked on. You're stupider than I thought. No offense, not saying that. I'm just being honest. Like, if Kelmon's still swinging in the room, that's cool. But it's an invisi imp. I apologize. That was
try
the
and,
wrong
like-
thing to say. I take that back. I shouldn't have said stupider than I thought. I apologize. I feel really bad about saying that. But you do swing into the air and miss wide.
Can I try to like catch Kelma's wrist and sort of look at him like?
Do you really want to try that?
You can certainly try. I'm not going to stop you.
Let me think
I would say it's a
for a
bad
minute.
idea,
Okay.
but I'm not going to stop you. Make a
Yeah.
roll a
let me think
d20 for
about
me.
this
See
a
if you
little
do
bit.
it. Well, you're
Let me
thinking
think
about it.
about
The fists are already swung, so it's too late. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
do or don't. There's no try.
Yeah, I won't.
But as you swing through the air and continue to miss, she just kind of says, "You know, as fun as this is, and as amusing as that is to watch, I'd really prefer it if you didn't try and mess with my servants. She kind of looks over at Savari.
Well, I didn't
Whether you
know
know
he
they're
was
there or
there.
not.
I just thought it was hovering. It's, it's
She kind of
curious.
looks over at you. And, well, I'd say curiosity killed the cat, but those are just bad
Well,
puns in my life at this point.
I am satisfied, so to know that
Huh.
there's something there.
I'm glad.
I could always try to calm him.
It's
She's
fine.
kinda
Or
I
looks
don't care
up.
about
perhaps
being
we could.
bit.
Or
She
perhaps
kind of
we
snaps
could.
her fingers and Modesto, tone it down. Fine. I'll just be over here. Tieflings, horn shit. My tail. You just like you pissed him off. He's not happy that he is in the corner somewhere.
Well,
You
Oh, he's
assume.
in a corner? That's an easy assessment.
Yep.
well, that's the second wonderful imp.
But she kind of looks. What he was going to give you, and what he gave you, I guess, is just rite of passage. That way, none of my new guard will ask any questions.
Well,
But I do believe the clock is ticking.
indeed.
Festival is noon tomorrow. Have a
Well.
wonderful evening.
You as well. And thank you for the tea.
Kind of smiles and picks back up her cup and sips one more time before one of the guards kind of opens the door. And you are escorted out. Unless you'd like to do anything else while you're in here in the last seconds you have in the room.
No.
Alright. So you are out and back into the streets of Valaki. The guards reassemble in front of the door and shut the door behind you. Yada da, do. All the things. All the stuff. But you are back in the street of Valaki. You know where the Burgermeister's Manor is. You've been there before. You know it's near the town square, which you've also been to before. And you have that dark house that you all passed by the first time around when you got separated looking for Irina. Has points of interest around you. Is anybody doing anything? What would you like to do? It is now 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Getting late. And that's not playing. Why is it not playing? Play the song.
Oh.
There
It's
we
a
go.
street.
It is a street.
So I just look at Brandon. I'm just like, so I guess we're talking to somebody. I mean, what's the plan here? I got distracted by the invisible asshole.
I wonder why she has an imp.
So, does anyone know this, like, a reverse pentagram symbol?
Would I?
You mean
Looks
Yeah,
at the
Osgood.
tieflings and a cleric,
Sure.
blood hunter.
Three of you make a religion check for me.
Is this related to Fey Fiends or the undead?
Probably.
Fiends.
Sick. Advantage.
Wait, you said roll what?
Religion.
26.
Savari won't know anything.
Yeah.
Yep, see? She doesn't know.
Oh, wow.
You
Yeah.
see, that wasn't really something we talked about as a family, so,
Makes
no.
sense, makes sense.
My family was
so-
the only tieflings in my village except for me, so I was by myself.
Grew up in a monastery. Yep, forgot that.
Mhm. So, Osgood, you would, if it was properly described to you, you would understand this as a basic symbol commonly used as the basis for summoning circles, ritualistic circles, pacts, and things like that. This particular design, as described to you, was gold, I believe, but usually these are painted in blood or red paint or something of the other when they're used in a ritual circle, things like that. You're familiar with the design. It's commonly used in summoning demons, things from the nether, etc. It's also commonly used as a symbol for leaders of cults and things like that.
I would say as much.
Do you think she's got anything to do with the sewers? Not the sewers.
Probably not.
I mean, yeah, but we've seen. Uh, right, let's talk. Walk and talk.
Walk and talk.
Hi.
As you are walking to the Burgermeister's house, you can talk.
I think she's just trying to I think she's just trying to become another wife for Strahd.
Well,
I mean,
there were the cultists under Valaki, and there were cultists in the ruins. Remember those?
Yeah, I remember
No.
those.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You think he's
I
one part of
doubt-
it?
Make
I doubt she's a cultist.
Everybody do me. Actually, never mind. I won't say that. We're good.
Huh?
Keep going. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh,
Bad
okay.
DM.
Okay.
It was gonna be a
No,
lore remembery thing check, but I'm not.
Yeah, no
gonna.
problem.
History check.
That was gonna be a history check to see what you all actually remember. If you can remember people, if you didn't have things known, so I can tell you what I can inform you on. But I'm not gonna do that. That's fine.
Okay, because Bradman would definitely remember the cultists because she died there.
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah, because even the leader got killed by that. Was it the Strahd or whatever when he was outside?
It was some sort of vampire.
I was more
not
so
that
as a DM. This just as a DM on the table. I was more so going to ask for a general like history roll to know like what you would recall if you didn't remember something in y'all's conversation. I would remember to tell you as a DM. So
Oh,
you
okay,
need
gotcha.
information. What I was going to ask for, but that's meta as hell, so I'm not going to do that. So sorry.
Get it.
So you all were saying. I apologize.
I mean, if she was a cultist, there would be. I reckon she would be far less. She lied a little bit during that conversation. She's definitely infatuated with you know who. But I think she would be a little less inclined to even give us a chance to let those children go if she was, sacrificing people.
That's true,
I'm
but
more
if
inclined to believe that it's
she's-
someone's imp.
But if she is that infatuated with Strahd, then our deal to get her to actually speak to him.
Could be handy.
Wow.
Still, I think it might just be an imp summoning circle. It's not exactly. Well, it's made of gold. Now that I think about it, that would be a little bit more. Would I
This
know
is
if the material?
definitely a trinket resembling something else. It's not like this pentagram itself is a summoning anything. It's definitely a piece of jewelry. Sorry if I didn't
Maybe
make
she's
that
just a
clear.
goth.
What now?
Don't worry about it. Cultural thing.
Well,
They were
guess-
Germanic people.
I'm not going to give her the benefit of a doubt. So,
I don't trust her at all. Then again, I don't trust many people.
And she is a noble. We lie.
Mhm.
It's what we do.
So,
what you
what's
do.
the plan? Are we going to talk to Sun or whatever that letter is for?
Talk to the sun, see if we can get into reverse
down
whatever curse, save their lives. Maybe
sure.
trying to arrange a deal to get her to speak with Strahd because that's what we've just said.
Yeah, and then I guess head to the back to the mountain temple to take care of business.
What
Mm.
business are you taking care of there? Is the question.
Yeah, and then before we do that, we should probably work out what that business actually is.
Yep.
So, to the Burgermeister's house then.
Yes.
All right. So, maps, and I deleted all you all off the map because maps. Because maps. And there's a Trovic, and there's a Kelma, and there's a Branwyn, no Gay Norris, there's an Osgood, and there's a Spire. And there's only one guard at the gate as you arrive once again to the Burgomaster's house, just off the center of town. As he notices you all, he kind of does the same similar thing that the guard at Fiona's house did. Halt! When orders a lady walked in, nobody enters.
I hand him the piece of paper.
Piece of paper he sees. Fair enough, and opens the door, swinging it open. Looks at you. Be quick about your business. They're not supposed to have too many pleasantries.
Believe me, this won't be a pleasantry.
As you can go inside, you see before you the large foyer, now not filled with bundles of sticks. Large hallway that goes down the main of the first floor, and then a large staircase upward. You do recall that the Burgomaster's room or his office was on the second floor.
Like up here.
Yes, like further up that way. Yes, up them stairs. You're not sure quite what anything else is or does. But as you go up the stairs, I'm taking you upstairs. Calm yourself. I'll get you upstairs. There you go. Everybody upstairs.
Yay.
And you guys will come upstairs too, because I'm being nice. Everybody upstairs. Stop it with your stairs. Let me just place you. Stop moving, Safari. Stop it. Stop it. You're worse than me. It's over there. Moving the token everywhere. No. Cool. You would get up to the second floor. You do notice another staircase. Is that going up or down?
Down?
Looks like
Down?
it's down.
Looks like it's going down. Where's it going down?
Probably a servant stairs.
Why don't stairs mean anything in this game? I swear.
Oh.
Yes. You're right. That you would smell food and things as you all kind of got to this intersection.
Okay. So,
The stairs, seemingly.
where's his room again?
Wasn't his room is this one?
This
Yeah.
was the mayor's room.
That was
the
the
Yeah.
Baron's room, yes. As you're kind of walking around the hallways and everything else in this, that, and the third, you would walk into the room and you would see the Baron kind of sitting behind his desk, mastiffs in hand, or sitting.
My God, the cat is here.
Oh no, the cat's here. Oh, no.
Oh no! It's Trovic's cat! The ghost of Trovic's cat!
I know, it's so sad. I'm sorry, Trovic and this cat. Where did the Trovic go? There's the Trovic. Boom. In the room. So as you all would get to the Burgomaster.
Trovic gets a wave of sadness.
Yep, the biggest sad. It's just memoirs of a
Trivia
cat.
just breaks down crying.
Just the cat shadows everywhere. No, but the Burgomaster is sitting at his desk somewhat solemn as he's kind of reserved himself to whatever is going to happen as you kind of poke your head in the door and then the rest of you kind of follow suit. You just... It's you. What do you want?
We've come to try to make some sort of arrangement. While we're aware of the situation currently, and while your life cannot be bargained for, we are doing what we can to try and spare the lives of your sons.
He kind of looks, gives you a nod. He understands, and well, I appreciate that. Because my name might live on after all. So, I guess the first question I'd ask is, what can I do?
I need to speak to your son about what happened to Miss Walker's daughter.
You see a look kind of come over his face. That, yes. That girl was crazy when she came to us, I swear, but sure being around Victor didn't do her any favors. That's always strange. But if I don't know what the twins would have been an issue for.
Well,
Jacques and James, they're only about 5. I assume you must be talking about Victor.
Mm-hmm.
well, if anything, the little ones we could spare. But depending on what your eldest says, might change the situation. Might spare his life as well. But if anything, we'll try to spare the youngest because they have they're innocent with your nonsense.
Give me a second, I need to figure out where this door is. Sorry. DM mechanics and stuff. Cool.
Sure.
And
while I'm saying this, I'm actually feeding a little bit of my ration beef jerky to the dogs that I kind of made friends with the last time I was here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the dog's kind of... Oh, that's cute. Oh, nice. Sorry, I got that made out now. Yeah, so... He kind of looks in... Victor spends much of his time secluded. Suppose you'd probably best find him somewhere wandering around the attic area.
Oh, looks like we know where to go.
I still think that girl was off her rock before she got involved with Victor. When she was deemed completely crazy, I couldn't have her marry my son. We sent her back to Fiona. I can't believe that she would try and take my life over this. Kind of sits back and resides in his chair. Oh, there's a door. If you go out the hall, down and take a right at the staircase, the servants' staircase. You see a door at the end of the hall that way, leading to a bedroom. There's a small door that leads to the attic there. Likely your best bet to find my son. If he's even home. Just go off and wander around town. But I probably won't let him out. He's somewhere in here then.
Well, guess it's time to go. Kemal starts working his way out.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of looks and just like, what of Petrova? Is she to share my fate?
If we can get this sorted, no.
Kind of looks and you just see like a little bit of relief come across his face as you all exit. And the directions would have been basically
This way.
yeah. That way, for which you would find a door and a bedroom and a thing and a door.
Ugh.
And a
Oh,
bedroom.
the conversations.
All the conversations. Trying to get through them as we can, but all the conversation. And you would see the trapdoor in the ceiling, and you would open it. And it would take you all, as a group of stunning individuals. Oh no.
Oh,
Probably
thanks.
gets a boost from Trovic or Zavari.
Yeah, I mean, there's no ladder that
meet you
drops
up
down.
there.
But you can
Yeah,
get up there.
boost.
And I need to put you all on another layer and do a thing because there's some things and there's some
'Cause
things.
I probably have the hops now to get up there, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you do at this point.
It's not strong.
Ladies,
I thought you
scroll
were
up
agile
for
enough to
me.
jump up there now.
I mean,
Come on, scroll up for me.
I'm the same agile.
Osgood and Trovic, scroll up for me.
There you go.
We should be on a new page now. And you should be able to see things. Or a room, I will say. Oh no, why is that not working? There we go. That worked now. Yay, things. Perfect. No, it didn't work. Cool. That being said, you do come up to a small attic room. It is completely covered in dust. It's about 20 foot square and has a high pitched vaulted ceiling that reaches the peak about 20 feet above you all. And you would basically just be in this small room before it kind of branches out into a main room. You would see a door on the edge of the room right near. That would actually be open, I'm sorry. So you'd see into what is a much larger room that stretches in a decent distance. Boop, doop, doop, boop, boop. Would you? If you look through the door, you would notice a well-worn and heavy covered in dust attic that seems to have a path kind of trekked through the dust itself. Yes, let me shift move everybody up just to make sure we're all in the same room. But the room, again, heavily covered in dust, full of a lot of old pieces of furniture, drapes, forgotten things. A lot of things covered in white sheets.
Jeez.
It's a massive room. Old furnishings covered with cobwebs. And throughout this maze of furniture and stuff and things, you would see what is essentially a pathway somewhat made, kind of winding through everything. And a door on the far side of the room. But this place is mostly dark. Just their fun heads.
Cool. Yay,
Oh.
dark vision.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, dark vision.
And as you all are kind of just walking through this room, through this path, you see a number of ancient paintings, more furniture, what seems to be like a small sitting area kind of spaced out over here, almost in the middle of some of the piles of junk and things like that. But it continues winding all the way to the door. Doesn't seem to be much of value in here. You all are kind of walking one in tow. You would make it to the door. No real obstacles in your way other than the occasional toy that's in the middle of the floor or something like that. Stuff you can easily step over, stepping away from it with your dark vision. And once you get to the door, it's a
Is
door.
anyone helping the two without dark vision?
Probably not. Dark vision peoples.
Yes, I am. I'm helping
I'm just
Trovik.
gonna
Helping Trovik and
stumbling.
Osgood. Okay. So
I'm at
you
the
all
front.
you all are making it through the rooms. But you would make it to the building and the thing and the door. And you would notice something is carved into the door itself. Just seems to be like a different coloration on the door. You with dark vision would see it, but you wouldn't really be able to make out what it was. But something is carved onto the door. It's a door. What you doing?
I'm gonna knock.
This is exceedingly stupid. I could just cast sunlight on the raven amulet.
Good. What you have? You knock on the door. Okay. As you knock on the door, you get no response. But as you're listening back for a response, you hear somebody saying something from the other side of the door. It doesn't seem like they're talking to you. It seems like they're talking to themselves or something else. You can hear a human voice just kind of I'm trying to think. You can make out make an Arcana check for me.
Oh God. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God. Jesus.
As you listen through the door and listen very carefully, you can hear the chanting of some sort of a spell incantation. It seems to be coming from voice inside the room. Seems to be male. Seems to be humanoid. You can discern that it seems to be sort of a like the words kind of give off what the spell is. It's just like you hear take us away from this place, move us from here to there. You can hear some sort of incantation of a teleportation spell.
Cool. Nope. In the room.
As you go to open the door, the etching in the door lights up a bright turquoise blue and explodes as you open the door.
Good job.
As the
Fun.
glyph of warding explodes, and you take 26
I can't even try to dodge
lightning
it.
damage.
Hang on.
Um,
Is there no
the
DC to
glyph
dodge
of
that?
warning that triggers if anyone other than Victor opens the door.
Okay. Well,
Glyph of
I take half
warding. I can look
damage.
into glyph of warding just to make sure.
I'm sure there's a deck save.
I think
I'm sure there is. I'm just wondering what it would be, where it is, and why is it from. Because the book lists no save, and that's what I'm getting at.
Can I, as
That-
a
Because
reaction,
investigation would have let you see the thing, which wasn't done
MTC?
because of what?
reaction cast using my channel divinity feat to do shared burden? I take half her damage.
So it would
And
be
she
his
takes half.
spellcasting stat. That's what it would be. That would be when triggered a glyph erupts, each creature in the area must make a dex save. Yes, sorry. So dexterity
Okay.
saving throw. Should take.
Well, if she fails it, I take half the half.
Right.
And she takes
No,
half.
if I fail. Hey, yeah.
You have evasion. Right?
Calculate it first, and then we'll figure out shit afterwards.
Yeah.
It's always simple, and you know it. Let me make sure I know because he has a stat block. He has a DC 14. So you take half.
There you go. Nope, I take nothing.
Oh,
Because
you take
evasion.
nothing.
Yep.
Excellent.
I'm a rogue.
So as the door explodes in your face and just a hot gush of acid shoots out, and
I just
you
like
manage to
duck
dodge it,
under it.
and Kelma lands just short of your feet, surprisingly. A loud boom accompanies this, and you burst into the room, and you can see in front of you a 14-ish year old boy standing with a spell book in hand, and he seems to be reading over some sort of an incantation out of the spell book.
Okay.
Give me one second. I need to look at the room. Lamplit chamber.
Can I do
There
something
are-
really dumb?
Give me 1 second.
I mean,
Wait
this
for your
is
extremely
probably
dumb.
happening in like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I was gonna
you're
cast
extremely
Calm
dumb. There's
Emotions.
3 people behind, and in a door. Do you know what I mean? Like, tough to walk.
You
Yeah.
can't
through.
even
It's
like
like
see
you
him
can't
right
see
now.
what they're seeing.
Yeah,
Right.
like I'm only
Right.
moving my guy out, and I'm here just for camera's sake.
Because technically, you're here.
Okay.
Because, like, technically,
They're there, and y'all don't have the vision.
Yeah, I'm in
but-
the doorway.
Alright.
Yeah, she's kind of like bursting through the doorway. But I will say this because I want to say this real quick. Just in a second, you can see a dusty rug on the floor. You see a number of skeleton cats around the room. You see the boy standing with the book in his hand, a table that has a bunch of pieces of paper and scrolls on it, a bookshelf in the corner, a small chest. The boy looking frazzled as he's looking over his shoulder, and he's kind of paused the incantation as he's saying these things. And you see small. You see 3 small children standing with their backs to you in the northeast corner of the room.
Okay.
Up here, but that's what you see as he's kind of like facing towards the desk reading this, and he kind of stops and stumbles as he looks at you. Sorry, what were you saying? Osgood?
No, don't worry about it.
Sure. Okay.
I was gonna calm
get that.
emotions, but I'm not able to see him, so.
Yeah, I was going to say if you got in the room, you could, but They're kind of jumbled up in this small door right now. After this explosion's taken place. But what are you doing? Yes.
Okay. Limited knowledge of magic. Very limited.
Mhm.
This is gonna sound so bad. I'm gonna try and hit him on the back of the head and stop him. Non-lethal. I just want him to stop, basically.
All right. And as
Because
you
my
try-
knowledge of magic is stop spells. Stop them.
Absolutely. And as you open the door, the explosion happens. You burst in. You see him attempting to cast the spell. You look over and run towards to try and stop him, and you see him stop muttering the spell. And then you hear him say the words, "Flibbity Raptus," and he disappears in front of you right before you reach him. Boop. As he has turned invisible. So you can
I mean,
attempt to
still gotta-
grapple him, or attack him, or hit him, but it will be with disadvantage. That's his reaction to the different warding going off, is casting invisibility on himself.
Sorry, I need to check a thing because I don't think it actually can't be supposable conscious. Okay, I don't have. Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
Sure, I'm gonna punch him even though I do no damage.
You do no damage when you're punching. Yes.
Let's do it. A disadvantage. This is gonna go well.
Every Brandwin hit is non-lethal.
Every brand hit is non-lethal.
I mean, if I'm using my fists, yeah.
13 does hit, but you do no damage as you make solid contact with this kid. And he just shouts out, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!" And he does come back to visibility as you punch him. Actually, does he? D20. Can't save. No, he
yeah.
does not. He does not keep his invisibility.
Nice.
Because the DC is 10.
If you
and
know
he's
what's
an 8.
good for you, yeah. If you know what's good for you, you'll stay where you are. And don't do anything stupid.
He kind of looks like with this fear on his face. Okay. You scared me. What are you doing in my room? Why are you even up here?
We're here trying to save the lives of you and your brothers. Dumb shit like that might just end up with you all dead.
He kind of looks, he's like, I don't really care about them at all. I was trying to save myself until you interrupted me.
Yes, well, I'm trying to save all of you.
I take my bow staff out the moment he says I don't care about them, like talking about his brothers, and I slam it on top of the table to basically scare the living crap out of him.
Yeah, he jumps back a little bit.
And I just glare at him. I'm just like, we're here to save you and your brothers. If you're a coward that wants to risk your little brothers, maybe we should just save your little brothers and chop off your head here right now. Or you could listen to the lady. So, you have a choice. I could take your head off right now, or you could sit down and listen.
He just kind of looks over at you. You can see the fear in this kid's eye. He's not a brave kid at all. He's very frail at best. He's a very shut-in style kid. Looking rough at best. But he just kind of like quietly looks in your direction and looks back at Bram and it's like, okay. But she told me not to speak.
I never said don't speak. I said don't do something stupid.
Speaking can be counted as stupid.
He kind of points at Osgood with a shaky finger and just kind of nods.
Then don't say something stupid. Like, common sense. Jeez. Right. Before
Yeah.
I hit you again, need to know what happened with Stella Wachter.
That stupid girl. She was always trying to get my stuff. She was always trying to be all around me, and she got too touchy.
And
And he kind of looks around. He's like, "Well, I might have tried some magic that I didn't know what it did. I found this book." He kind of holds up the little book in his hand. He's like, "I've been learning things."
I go to grab the book from his hand.
He kind of clenches it tighter and turns away from you and kind of backs into the corner.
no.
No, it's mine.
And I literally charge at him, grab the book, and if I can, hold him up against the wall by his neck.
If you're gonna do that, then I would say
Kelma's not playing with this little book kid after he said that he doesn't care about his little brothers.
absolutely. As you go to do this, and go to grab him, I would need you to make an athletics check for me.
Sure.
Or a strength check contested by his strength check, but yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
come on.
Really? Oh, 11s.
The boy rolled a 17.
Wow.
You
Wow.
dive across the table to reach this kid. He kind of jumps out of the way of your grapple, and you just kind of land on the ground. I would say he jumps back a square, and you would go over the table. If you're reaching to jump across the table to get.
And
the
I just kind of give him a look like, drop the book.
As you jumped across the table, startled the kid, and he ran into the corner. Just out of shock and startle, he shouts out the word "Bumpus!" And I am now going to need a. What is that? That is Thunder Wave.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry. Thunder Wave. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Why can't I just not show this in the table? This would be so much easier if it would just say, "Hey, display on the VTT." There we go.
I'm so tempted to just scare this kid right now.
Please,
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely can do whatever you
Please
want. Y'all are
do.
just seeing this
Yeah.
shit happen
Please
in the
jump
room.
I'll
in.
and
do it
just within
after
10
the
seconds
thunder
of this.
wave.
Okay, so each creature in a 15-foot cube. So
I'll follow
Bramlin
him.
and the cats and Kalma, I need you to make a con saving throw. DC is 14.
Con?
Yeah, this is gonna go well.
Con save.
Huh.
Just the people in the room. So that would be Osgood, yeah, because you had walked into the room and were decently in range. Savari's still probably outside, and Trovik's
I think
still
Savari's like
outside.
in the doorway.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
chat.
mean, you said
Oops, not a step.
15 feet?
Trovik, where you at?
He's outside
He's
with
outside.
me.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. 20, 16, and 19. Okay, you all make the save. So that is half damage on Nem gets no
And-
damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. That is
Ooh.
8 points of damage. Cut in half is 4 points of damage of thunder damage as just this sonic boom emits from the kid as he screams this out.
Just
And he
brace
looks at you
behind
with just,
Kelma.
like, fire in his eyes. He's just like, "You stay away from me.
Savara's gonna crack
I
her
know
neck
tricks."
doorway.
However,
I
you
look
do
at the
see two
kid.
skeletal cats completely disintegrate.
Now then, what did
You
I
need to
say
raise your
about
hand.
doing something stupid?
He jumped at
Do it.
me.
Do it.
You told me not to do anything stupid. You didn't tell him not to.
You didn't hand over your book. We need to see that book so we can see what spell that you cast. Your life is tied to your ability to remove the spell.
Branwyn,
Kinda
I can also make him a little more likely to cooperate.
looks at you and just takes
You
the
just
book.
hear
I just fucking
Yeah.
death stare at him. Like,
Absolutely.
this man is a reaper coming for him if he
Mhm.
tries anything stupid.
Takes the book and looks at it. Just kinda hands it over to Bram and it's like, "Give it back. I'm not done learning yet." Hands it to you.
Okay, I don't need to come in the room.
It's a
And
spell book.
I hand it to Osgood because I know nothing about magic.
Yeah, that's literally what I was
I
trying to
look
do, is
forward.
just grab it and give it to Osgood.
I nod.
Like Osgood was going to be the
Um,
go-to for this situation.
It's a spell book. Just reading through it, you can
Arcana?
clearly see there are spells listed. This is a wizard spell book for the most part. A lot of the spells are hard to read.
I have an Arcana +7.
It's true. It does have a lot of them in there. Doesn't seem like there's any imbue curse spells on here though.
Interesting. Can
Show
I
us
try and
which
like
one.
suss out what he might have combined?
I mean, there's remove curse. There's speak with animals. There's polymorph. There's a number of spells in this book.
Oh.
I'm gonna stride around the desk, look at the kid, force the book into his hands, and say, "Show me exactly what you fucking cast."
It's like, kind of looks at you scared. He's like, I might have gotten
swear to God, I'm
confused.
not
I might have
playing.
mixed a few things. I
What?
just shouted out a bunch of words.
Oh my god.
This kid, man.
This was when I first found the book. It was a couple weeks ago.
He looks pissed.
If our lives depend on it,
I-
I can try, but he
It
kinda looks
kind
at
of
through the book.
does.
I mean, I can try and remove the curse. I don't know if it'll work.
I turned the book to the page that says "Remove Curse."
Mm-hmm. There's a remove curse spell.
Just stare at him.
Mm-hmm. He kind of looks and
I look at Branwen.
you give me my
We
book
take-
back now.
We take this man to the Wakta's mansion. We take him to the girl, and we get him to remove the curse. If he cannot, well,
He kind of looks a bit concerned and scared. He's like, but if I can't do it, then they're gonna kill me.
If you don't do it, they're
You're
going to
dead
kill
already.
you. This is
But
your
not
chance
if I
to
can.
live.
He kind of looks and weighs his options. And he kind of looks at you. He's like, but if what I was working on works, then
You were
what
going
will
to
you-
leave your brothers.
I mean,
And trust me, I can.
if they wanted to
interrupt
come with
that
me, they
easily.
could. It's big enough for all of us. It's big enough for you too.
And where would you go?
He kind of looks over it. He's like, he kind of looks in the book and he flips to a certain page and kind of starts showing you like you would understand. He's just kind of like excitedly almost pouring over this. He's
I
like,
see.
you might. You would understand the spells itself. You would understand the spell Teleportation Circle, I would say, just based on your Arcana. He starts to
It's
show
not
a
like to
number
a
of.
specific plane, though.
What's that?
It's not to like a specific plane or something, though.
Circles usually go to circles. So, planes
Interesting.
are a thing, but kind of thing. But you would be familiar with teleportation circles. They do exist in both your world and this. That being
Yep.
said, he points out and kind of like begins to go over a number of completed circles or destination locations, if that makes sense. They don't have names to them, but it seems like scribed in whatever this book is, there are a few. Basically, the way teleportation signals work or symbols work is if
Yeah.
you stand on one and you know another one to go to, if you have that symbol written down and you can basically set your course of
Mhm.
destination, you can get there. So there are endpoints already drawn into this book. Where they go is not listed, but he kind of
So,
looks at you all.
let me get this straight. You want to go to some random place. You don't know where it is. Do you even know if it's in Barovia or out of Barovia? Do you even know if you can get out of Barovia?
He looks at you with just like this stern vigor in his eyes. He's like, my family got this book from that crazy wizard. He
Kazan?
was... No, not the servant. The fool who came and tried to fight a year ago.
Well,
Oh.
I'm not actually how much I know about that.
Well, we've
We've heard that there was a mad mage.
there's a mad
Right.
mage, but we never met the Mad Mage.
Tavern, any of that? No, you didn't.
Yeah, it's more like a thing where I was trapped here for like 40 years, so I
Yeah,
wasn't sure how
probably
much of
not
the story I
much.
actually knew.
Yeah, you just
Not
know
much.
someone. You would have known.
There was a
that
crazy
attacks
mage who
happened.
tried to lead a rebellion against Strahd and failed. That's what you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
Oh, that bastard.
But he was not from Barovia, and you're aware of that. He gave me the
okay.
book. And
Mad
there might be a way.
Mage. So
I'm
these
calling
circles, will be outside of Barovia. Now, my magic is non-existent, and my knowledge even less. But I look at Osgood.
He would
Correct me if
die
I'm wrong. Yeah.
instantly, without fail. He doesn't actually know if that's the case. He's just bluffing, but
The kid just looks at you. He's like, I'd rather try and get out of this place than be stuck in Barovia any day longer.
I've been trapped here for 45 years.
Yeah, then
You
do
think I
something
haven't
about it.
tried?
Perhaps things beyond your control are happening.
Indeed.
Also, let's think about it. You got this from the Mad Mage, right? Why
He all
didn't
said he was
he?
mad.
Why didn't he leave? He had the book.
Said he was here to.
Exactly.
He said he was going to save us.
Sure.
And that was his whole purpose.
Well, he
You weren't
didn't
going to run
save
away.
you. He didn't save you, obviously.
He died.
And the kid kind of looks at you as you say he died. You don't know that?
I don't.
No one ever found
but
his
I know
body.
what happened. Well enough.
I don't think this
If they
would've
didn't find
worked.
his body,
He kind of looks arrogant. He's like,
This is going nowhere.
so even if my magic doesn't work, doesn't matter now. You stopped me. I mean, like arrogantly upset, but he's just. Guess you can take me to that dirty girl, and I'll try. You better be grateful for this. I just left those boys to
grateful
die.
is it?
as he
whip out my
as he says
and
grateful.
do nothing else.
I
I
immediately
receive it.
I immediately grab one of his arms and I kind of beckon to Savari to grab the other arm because Osgood's got the book,
outside.
right?
Still outside, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, I know she's
Osgood
outside, but she's like by
has
the
the
doorway looking at us. I'm just
Osgood
like,
has the book, yes. Yep. I mean, you could easily
I'm looking
get to the kid.
pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything, but I pull out the revolver and start sort of flicking through the barrel.
Mm-hmm. So you're threatening a 14-year-old. Nice. Solid Osgood.
Kinda.
I mean, we've all been
I mean,
threatening
you're
a
not a good girl.
14-year-old
Yeah.
right now.
I would
Nice.
do
No.
it too. 'Cause
So,
children
I
are
mean,
good
basically,
I don't know if you're
the
wrong.
kid is agreeing to go along with you and attempt
Yeah,
to break this curse is what we're getting at. We can
also
roleplay
he's,
around
he's
it for
like
another
he's like
10
he's like
minutes
one
to
of
fuck
those
with
little
this
kids
kid,
from Skyrim. He's just a little shit.
probably.
Yeah.
Quite
You're
probable.
not my real dad.
But for fast forwarding time's sake,
Yeah.
you would get him to the walkers, back to the door, same pleasantries entrance. And as you all would get into the main foyer of the walkers' place, Lady Fiona would come through the sitting room towards the door, see you all in the main chamber and greet you all, kind of negative glance at the boy. And
Remove
well,
curses in his book. He could try something.
she kind of looks down the line at all of you and then looks at him with a stone cold glare. If you do anything to further damage my daughter,
Oh, don't worry.
tomorrow will be the least of your worries. I'll see to that. You know where the room is? Go. She kind of looks at you, Osgood, almost expectantly, as you
Nod.
and the people and the boy and everybody walk to the upstairs of the inside of the other map of the maps.
Today is the day of maps.
Today's the day of maps, and I'm
Today
sorry.
is
it's
the
a
day of
map's
reckoning.
Mappity map.
I'm gonna make all of you one line of map.
I was so close to just changing and scaring him.
That's what I was actually thinking you were about to do.
Ugh, it would have been funny.
All in the room with the maps.
I was kind of planning to shoot the book out of
Can't
his hand.
see.
You can't see. Why can't you see?
Yeah, actually can't.
Why can nobody see?
I could see.
There was light,
Huh.
and then there was no light.
Oh
There's-
my god. Refresh.
Yeah. That's weird.
Refresh.
I can see just fine. What are you talking about?
You'll be fine. Don't refresh. But yeah. And you would easily enough come to the room with once again the cat lady, lady cat, and now the boy who's kind of sheepishly standing there. I need the book. He kind of looks over at Osgood.
Oh, right. I have that, don't I? Pass it back over.
I still have.
Oh.
I still have like my hand on him because I don't trust that kid.
That's fair. Sorry. How do you cure of that? That's the question. You know, it would be nice if we could actually put these things in the same damn chapter. It'd be really cute. Like it'd be so fun.
Oh, a Watsy book that's
Victor did a
actually
thing.
has everything where you need it. That would be great.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen. By the way, as you all would have walked over into that, never mind, it doesn't matter. It's past the thing now. Skeleton Cat's got blown up, and that's all that matters. Spellcasting book, he does the thing. So yeah, I mean, he could use the remove curse spell, but that would be against his own DC, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's rolling against his own DC.
Remove curse in 5th edition. It is a curse ends on an object. Oh, no, it just works. It just works. So as he puts his hand towards the cat girl and she skitters to the other side of the room and doesn't get near him at all and refuses to like stay in his vicinity. He can't quite get his hand to put his hand on her and complete the spell. And you see this kind of almost comical girl who thinks she's a cat running away from a 14-year-old boy who's got his hand outstretched as he's trying to just like put his hand on her shoulder to like cast the spell. As he's kind of like running with the book in his
Jeez.
hand around the room. And this takes a good minute or two. But this game of tag finally finishes with him touching her shoulder and muttering an incantation. And then you see the girl who's standing on all 4 legs in the center of the room on the floor. Just kind of like a glazed look kind of comes off of her face as she just kind of like comes back to her realization and notices herself standing on her hands and her feet and looks over and sees Victor's hand on her shoulder and just kind of like brushes it off and like slaps towards him and like slides away from him across the room. The hell'd you do? The hell away from me!
Quite a bit.
She's pissed off and cussing at him now.
Well,
Yeah, she's not
looks like
happy, but she's back to herself. She seems to be human once again and can talk, and there's no talk of kiddiness. She's still kind of like, it takes her a moment to like stand back up in like a human posture, and even so, she's still kind of like hunched over and crouched over. She's been bent to the back for a long time.
well,
Now do you
looks like
see
this
what you
worked. So
Who the hell are any of you? Get the hell out of my room! And she just like screams down the stairs like, Mom!
yeah,
Wait, we
well,
saved you. Don't worry about it.
this is
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
And Kel walks out of the room. He's just
Yeah, at this
fucking
point,
like-
it's just yelling now awkwardly in this girl's room, but she's back to her sane self as she kind of like just walks around the room and still muttering to herself. Not completely there headspace wise, but somewhat fixed as you see just like a traumatized boy kind of back out of the room with you all.
Mhm.
I grab him again and drag him out of the room.
Uh-huh.
And I go, and I just say, give the book back to the old man.
He
What?
would.
All right. I take it. Looking a little confused. What am I supposed to do with? Oh well.
If
And
it's
you
not
all
in the
return-
if it's not in the child's hand, he can't do anything dumb.
Mhm.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
And you would all make your way back downstairs. To the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Osgood, you're in a room that you're not in, but you know what I mean.
Ah. Okay.
Fun stuff. Yeah, but you all make it back to Fiona's main chamber, and she would be standing there, awaiting results.
I can't see anybody.
Oh no, it's again. It's one of those things.
Oh no,
It's
it's
floor
again.
bug.
Great,
Oh no,
so it's the first
again.
floor to second floor bug. Fun stuff.
Uh,
Awesome. If I delete that wall, does that fix anything? Probably not.
nope.
Awesome. Refresh your page. Anyway,
All right.
everybody else can see. So, we're making you all right? I think. Fiona's basically in her room once again. The imp is now sitting on her shoulder.
Hmm.
She kind of looks over the group. So, are you able to fix my dear daughter?
Yeah, she's good. She's fine.
Somewhat.
Upset, but fine.
Kind of looks down at the boy and you should be thanking them. These fair folk may have just spared most of your family's life. The boy just looks frustrated and just a slight tinge of anger in his eyes as he looks toward Fiona. But careful now. If you harbor that anger that I see in your eyes too long, you might do something you would regret. Then I'd have no choice but to take matters into my own hands. Yeah. Be a good boy and follow your escort back home. And she's now mocking this boy clearly and poking at him. But he will bite his tongue and stay silent. And she will command one of the guards in the house to take him back when you have no more use for him.
Yeah, we're done with him.
Yeah.
And the boy would exit with the guard and be taken out. She kind of looks over you all. She kind of pauses a moment. Excuse me. I need to check on something. She steps past you all and out and up the stairs, disappearing into the second floor before coming back about 2 or 3 minutes later. Is there anything you all would like to do in the 2 or 3 minutes you have in the room?
I just kind of mentioned
likely check
I
out.
just kind of mentioned to Osgood. I'm just like, you might want to hide that book just in case if that's coming from that mage, that might prove useful later on.
Fair point. I put it in my bag.
I'm going to
Yes.
I'm going to call an Inferno. Are you still hiding in here? See if he responds.
No, you did see it on her shoulder as she walked
Okay.
upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure.
It is visible, yes. It has been sitting on her shoulder since you all returned to the room.
I fucking hate kids.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
mind kids.
Where I'm
I just
from.
don't.
Where I'm from. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
You first, Chi.
Where I'm from. When you are 14, you're sent out on a boat at sea. You have to live out there for a month, and if you don't return, you are left. No hope of salvation.
Well,
Hmm.
for my
Hard
village,
lessons.
the eldest of children watch out for the youngest. And seems like this one got the cowardly gene from his father. You don't leave your little brothers.
Cowards do not survive out where I'm from.
Maybe one day he'll find himself on a boat or something.
Hopefully, we'll learn to sail.
And as you can hear the footsteps coming back down the stairs. You would see Lady Wachter return. Return back into the room. You certainly kept your end of the bargain. She is better. She's still not happy with me, but she's better. Very well. The 3 boys and the priest's sister will be spared.
All right, sounds like a
Wonderful.
deal.
She kind of looks over. Now, will you all be assisting in my rise to power?
I'm looking at everyone else.
I like a brown one.
She kind of also looks over at you.
I
About meeting the wonderful lord.
just snort. It's like not even looking at the rest of the group.
Fair enough.
Long live the Duchess. Half nod.
She kind of looks and smiles. Also, you said something about a meeting with our fair lord.
I
You
will
all seem
see.
to be on such good terms. Clearly, if you can arrange meetings for our lord.
Well, I will see what I can do the next time we meet, which, by my reckoning, should be soon.
Very well. Festival's tomorrow at noon. If you are in Valaki, I would like you to be there. Of course, as all the signs say, attendance is not mandatory. I'm
Good.
not the Burgermeister after all.
We shall see where our path takes us.
Understood. You all must be very busy. She
Kelma
kinda
walks out the
smiles and
room.
Chuckles. Yeah, I mean, you can walk out. Absolutely, you all can leave
Yeah,
the fuck out whenever you want to.
Kelma
There
doesn't
is-
care. He's not even doing pleasantries anymore. By the time you guys are done, he's pretty much outside waiting.
Absolutely. Heard. And that would be that. But she has nothing more to say unless you have any more questions for her.
Take that as a no.
I don't. Hey, you could talk to her.
I got nothing to say.
Okay,
Yeah, I
because
was about to
Kelma's
say,
like,
if anybody has anything they'd like to say, feel free. But it's
I
just at
was
this
like,
point, she's kind
Kelma's
of,
just basically
you've
like,
done her a
"Bye, bitch."
service. She expects you all to show up, or is expecting of you to show up if you're in town. And she will kill the Burgermeister at noon tomorrow. That's what you've gotten out of this conversation. But now it shall only be the Burgermeister at noon tomorrow. As you all are escorted out of the Wachter house and back into the main streets of Valaki. Back in the North Ward in the Nobles Quarter. This is where we're going to take our break.
All
We'll
right.
take 10 minutes and come right back.
Sounds good. All right, guys. We're gonna take our 10-minute break. Make sure to hang out, or if you haven't done so already, I put it in the chat just now. Go follow and subscribe to the One Shot Tavern. Really appreciate the support over there. But we're gonna take our 10-minute break, and we'll be right back with the second half of episode 40 of Curse of Strahd. Hello and welcome everybody to the second half of episode 40 of Curse of Strahd. Now throwing it back to MTC.
Hello, hello. All right. So, basically, you all are outside of Lady Walker's house. It is now nighttime in the city. But there is a 3/4 moon overhead, kind of illuminating the streets. You all have, as far as you know, averted the death of a few innocent peoples. But that being said, if you have anything else you'd like to do around town, or you can return to the Blue Water Inn.
I'm good. I'm good about going back to the inn.
Right. So you all begin to make your way south through the town, past the house with no lights, and eventually making it.
I look at the house again, just in case I see or hear anything, because I remember we climbed and whatever last time.
No, I think you
No.
just checked
Okay.
the door. But yeah,
That was
I'm-
me and she.
That was you and
Oh,
G? I thought I was there too.
Nope.
Oh,
no,
never
you
mind.
were doing something different.
Oh, okay.
So when we split the party, because yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Never mind.
That was the split teleport day and all that other stuff. Yep, all that fun. But yeah, as you kind of look over this house, there are no lights on. And Branwyn, you've been informed that this is Vasily's house.
Oh.
By the guard, right?
Oh yeah.
There are still no lights on in the house.
Really,
Oh.
the meeting with Vasily.
That's strange.
But as you all continue back to the inn, takes you about 20 minutes or so,
Mhm.
10 minutes to get down the road. At a leisurely pace, you would go back to the inn, and I'm gonna bring up the inn. And there's a page with an inn. Where's it at? Haha! I found you. I did a thing. I'm gonna put you all outside the inn because you are outside the inn, and that's the way it works. Everybody's here, and fun stuff, and good times, and I'm going to make everybody where they're supposed to be. Oh no, I've messed up all the things.
MTC.
Yes, sir.
Is there any conceivable way to play Phoenix Wright interrogation music?
Not without hella copyright strikes.
Damn
No.
I mean, we can play any music we want, but I like Fig's channel to be
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fig's channel, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that. I use
appreciate
it
that.
for a very specific reason. So I'm going to say no to that. But
Yeah.
I appreciate your candor, my friend. That being said, I'm going to remove that because that's not there. Because you're not there. Yeah, I just deleted a person from the world. They just died. I moved
I
into
mean-
the outside and realized you could all see that, and I was like, no, let me just delete that real quick. But
Anyways,
yes, you all are at the inn, outside the inn. And still sitting at the inn. He never left the inn. He's a good boy. Is a hellhound sitting inside.
What's his name? Should we name him?
No.
No.
Aww.
We don't name things here.
An elder cat even have
Yeah,
a
I
name.
think it just lives until dispelled or dead, right? It doesn't have a time on it. I think it's just there.
yeah.
I think it's just summoned. That's great. It's just chilling.
Yeah, you can have
His
as
name
many.
is George.
You got.
Trying to see like a fire tail kind of wag a little bit. It's a happy dog.
Aw. That's so cute.
It's a
It's
happy
gonna
dog.
die soon.
As the dog just kind of like looks with a weird look on its face. Okay. Anyway,
He'll die in
you
2
come back to the
episodes,
inn.
let's be honest.
Yes, there is an inn. And as you all would enter in to the inn, fun words. You notice this place is. I apologize. I need the common folk that are also the thing. Where are you at? Why are you not a thing? I hate you guys. These are the people that we'll use. They're not the right one, but this is the one we're going to use.
Okay.
Boom.
I wonder if that book.
Okay, so sorry. As you all walk into the tavern itself, you notice that Erwin and Danica are sitting on the close side of the bar. One of the hunters, Solstar, is sitting in a chair. Esmeralda, Rictavio, Ismark, sitting strewn across the center of the place, along with a number of men and women wearing black cloaks with raven feathers hanging off of them and stuffed into them. In the corner of the room, you see John sitting beside Irina and kind of tending to Gaynor, who is sitting in a chair in the corner. And I would actually switch that to move that to that. Sorry. That's the way the setting's going. But yeah. And you all could easily enough file into the bar itself. As you
Yeah,
see
I'll
everybody,
order another drink.
and drinks are easily provided, brought out to everybody. And you see that Erwin continues to fill everybody in the room's drinks, not just yours, as you all come in and are fitted with drinks. As he kind of looks around, I don't know what your plan is. Just know you've been gathering information. You know you've got our help.
Well,
I feel like a lot of us have a stake in this. It's not just you. Kind of looks over to Danica and kind of puts his hand on her hand and just, I've done what I can. And he kind of looks across the group to you at Branwyn, Kelma, and Osgood in your direction. He's looking at all of you, but across the table that way. I've gathered any people that may support a cause that we're for, people that seem to like you, to figure out what the hell we should do. We let the Burgermeister die? Gee, do this daft thing you're talking about with the wedding?
well, things have changed
fight.
a little bit.
What do you need? Yeah. I know. So I think I've gathered all the important heads. I think it's about high time we figure out what to do.
Agreed. Places down like a cup.
He kind of sits there, and everybody has wine, beer, tea, milk, anything you would desire. All the drinks have been properly poured and set. Your count of the room is Solstar, Yegvini, 4 Ravenfolk, not including the Mardikovs themselves. John, Peoples, and the rest is Mark, Irina, the works, and the 2 vampire hunters. But you do see Erwin kind of hop off his stool and walk out this way. And then he kind of, you hear like a scratching on the outside of the swinging doors. And he kind of walks back inside and closes them tight. He keeps his hand on them the entire time that he's walking through them and shutting them back.
Some kind of ward, I assume.
And he kind of like reaches over and grabs what is a small clamp, and he just kind of like puts it on the brace between the 2 doors to like hold them somewhat together. Looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Aye,
There's an idea.
should afford us at least a little bit of privacy.
Aye. So
Use those for our secret meetings. Because this is about as open and secret as we can get with this big of a group." He kind of goes back and sits down.
So, the situation is this. Strahd is a liability. He's not a good person.
He's an idiot.
There's a greater evil even above him, however. I think that if we kill Strahd, we're still not going to be able to get out of here. I think what we need to do is kill the evil above him, or at least the avatar of that evil. I've fought
You
demons
say
for a very
this,
long time.
You hear a heavy whisper come across everybody that's not directly privy to that information already. Not everybody was in the room. There are certain people who are taking this a certain way.
Should I explain?
They're gonna need some explanation.
I hold up my hand to Osgood. I go, maybe it's best for our friend who is good at explaining things. And I look at Branwyn.
That's a fair point. I'm kind of bad. Seems I'm
Oh.
not very good at talking.
Because
Well, yeah. Everything's out of order, for one. So, start from the beginning.
And you want to begin? Sure can.
I mean, not literally, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But-
we fell down a
So-
hole.
and in episode 1,
yeah.
there were wolves.
There's this weird fucking doll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, as I'm semi-sure that you've been maybe made aware, we have a plan. Plan is, we have a deal with Strahd that if he marries Irina, we will then try to trick the force that keeps him in place into letting everything go back the way it was before the curse. Now, we have recent information, thanks to our friend over there, I nod at Van Richten, that the power that keeps all this in place is a form of Orcus. Now, this changes things quite a bit. I know. No, I don't think anyone in this room likes Strahd.
You're going to hear a general murmur of agreement and consent.
He's kind of a piece of shit.
More than that, but yes.
Aye.
But in this case, I think he's the lesser of two evils. And I think if we are to get the ultimate goal of this land returning to how it once was, he's not the one we need to be dealing with. We need to be going after Orcus. Or vampire as he is in this form.
You see the couple of raven folk kind of talking with each other, and Ismark just kind of stroking his beard that he doesn't really have. Stroking his chin, beard area. I was looking at the picture of Yigbenny when I said that. But no, they're quite concerned. Esmeralda's just kind of amused at you explaining this and trying to tell this to these people. And she kind of like just sighs and
We're not exactly very good explainers, are we?
I've
not
been
the best.
explaining fine.
Good try.
She kind of looks it over. It's like, so your plan, right, is to help Strahd marry Irina, which, from what you've learned, has been being prevented from happening by something.
My working theory is that his contract with Orcus to give him his power would end with that marriage. And of course, Orcus doesn't want that, because why would he want the contract to end? And therefore, he tries to intervene and prevent the marriage every time.
She kind of like sits there, thinks for a moment. So, if that's the case, then you're right. And say you're right. And we fight Orcus. One, we're trusting in Strahd, who's almost killed me twice. Two, we're dealing with the hell, and but your whole plan is based on the fact that you're taking a vampire at his word. He kind of looks over at Octavia. It's like, we don't normally do that, like ever.
I'm a monster hunter. I kind of get it. Trust me.
Then why the hell are you on board?
Because nothing I've read suggests the opposite. And I don't see any other way to survive.
So, okay. Let's say we're wrong.
She kind of sits there. She's like, so, what about those stones? You said they could weaken him, yeah?
Kamal leans back in his chair and he's like,
And the vampire, I mean.
yeah. The stones can weaken the vampire. The stones are controlled by, I guess, whatever gods or demigods ruled this land that Strahd took over. But it doesn't mean it hinders Orcus. So we could do that. I don't care about Strahd or Orcus. I barely care about this land. I want to go home.
She kind of looks over at Octavia. It's like, and she's just kind of like, yeah. She kind of points to Bramwin. You pieced the Orcus bit together, yeah?
And
Me,
No,
him.
Rictavio put her together.
I mean, me,
What?
him, and him.
Looks over. It's like,
there are legends where I'm from of him.
And there's also more information that we're hoping to get to see if that we still need. Perhaps, and I look at Brandon and I go, perhaps the areas in the mountains maybe has information to see if we could what we could do about one, the other, or both.
So there's the sanctuary that we were at, which had some information on the Fanes.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the Ember Temple, where if we really want to, I can go and talk to the trapped form of Orcus there.
Yep.
What I'm going to suggest might sound a little insane.
As insane as everything else we're suggesting?
Fair enough. Fair point, I suppose.
Solstar kind of looks up and just
we-
shouts out, let's hear it already!
If we kill Orcus and everything goes back to normal, what's to stop us from just sicking on Strahd the moment that this is all back to normal?
Me wanting my life.
Fair point, but if we could weaken him...
So, he doesn't want to be here any more than we do.
Exactly.
The minute he's out and the Barovia is back where it should be, he's gone.
But also,
he's not our problem.
But also, the question lies:
as the vampire hunters look at you, he's our problem at that point.
Yeah. Also,
and preferably mine.
Also, you got to think of this: if we happen to bring this up to Strahd made this deal. Part of me feels that Strahd puts up this air of not being scared, but I think he's scared of Orcus. Like, truly scared of Orcus.
I'd be terrified as well.
He'd be a fool if he wasn't.
But
he
here's the
hasn't
thing.
lived as long as he has without being scared of something more powerful than him.
But
An undead
here's the
lord.
thing: if we tell him, like, "Hey, we're going to help you," who's to say Strahd will even try to help us?
Because it benefits him.
You could also
But would he
force the
even be
marriage.
willing to fight back?
That's the thing. Because remember,
Mhm.
if he believes marrying Esmeralda, not
No.
Irina,
Arena.
yeah, Irina, is the
I
key.
started
Wanna
looking
pipe
at
up over
Esmeralda.
here? This one, this girl.
Yeah, this one over there. Because if he believes marrying Irina is the key, either by willingness or force, who's to say that he's just not going to force the marriage that he's tried over and over again, that it's failed because he's too scared of Orcus in our plan?
But I think that's the thing. I think it has to be willing, otherwise he would have forced it by now. He's a vampire. He can charm people. He would
True.
have forced that marriage by now.
Arena just kind of looks down to the ground. It's like, I think she's right. I think that if he could have done it, he had plenty of opportunity.
I mean, we saw that in the graveyard.
What graveyard?
You
Ismark
went
kind
there.
of looks over and
Oh.
yeah.
So maybe we have to look at the wedding not as a key of breaking the curse, as possibly a trap, because if we do it, Orcus will show up.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. That's the perfect trap. It's something
Exactly.
that has to be done in order for the contract to be fulfilled.
Exactly. We protect
It's an
Irina
ambush.
and use it as a trap. But the question is, do we inform Strahd on this, or do we have him think everything is going normal and then go from there?
If we don't inform
You
him,
so you
likely he'll
want
attack us.
Are you saying that instead of going through with the wedding, we use it as a trap for Strahd?
No, I'm saying that the question is, we go through with the wedding, and if when Orcus shows up, because eventually he's going to come after Irina to stop this, do we tell Strahd that we're going to fight Orcus in our plan, or do we just go, or do we leave him in the dark until that moment?
I believe that's the whole plan that we gave him, is that we were going to protect Irina through that.
DM knowledge out there. It was the plan that you originally
Yeah.
worked with him. Was you would come back, see if Irina was down for the proposal. If she was, you would set up the wedding as planned and defend the wedding from whatever may try and disturb it. Was the original deal you had made with him?
Yeah.
Would
Or
Strahd
protect it
assist?
from any outside things that
But
may
the,
attempt to.
what Kemal was
have-
trying to say is should Strahd also know of the extra thing we're talking about, that Orcus is probably going to show up, and our plan is to get Orcus out of the way, or do we tell Strahd, hey, we're going to go through with this as per planned? Are you going to join? Basically, are we going to let Strahd join us in the fight or not?
Again, I thought that was the whole plan.
Kind of thought that was the plan too.
Okay.
Because I think at the time the information we had, it wasn't Orcus we were fighting Vampire, and we now know that Vampire is Orcus.
Now we know
Right.
that Vampire is
Right,
Orcus.
the plan was that the only drop bomb that's changed is that it's now you're aware that it's a demon
Yeah.
lord of the undead. And
Yeah,
this, that, and the third.
it's just the
Stakes got a
scale.
bit higher. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just got a
Yeah.
bit bigger. So
Mhm.
it's you're here, but it's now, hey, more information's been gathered. You kind of understand exactly what you're faced with and most of the options on the table. However, both vampire hunters are not happy with the idea of assisting Strahd. Esmeralda will stick to her guns and come back with the sources of information, right, are coming from the three you put in your heads together and connecting a bunch of links to a demon lord who might exist and be trapped in the Amber Temple. But all the rest of the information about this contract, about this deal, about all this. You're getting it from the guy. Every bit of that information's come from him.
And Ava. I'm not-
Octavia just kind of looks down the nose. And Ava's not on anyone's side.
Exactly, which is why she's the best source of information.
She's a neutral party. A neutral party is the most willing.
There's also another
Also,
element in this
she's-
as well.
She's an oracle. The ability to tell the future is rather powerful.
Esmeralda looks at you. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Oh, right. I forgot you have a stun.
And in all fairness to our friend, just because someone can tell the future doesn't mean they're going to tell you what they saw.
I mean, I can do it a little bit now, but not to that degree.
You will hear Ismark kind of pipe up. Well, Ava and her crew, they are still Strahd's servants, even if they consider themselves a neutral party. She may divine for all, but she does work for Strahd.
And she sent us on a quest to find things that can kill him. And told us exactly where to find what could help us.
Why would she do that, actually?
Which we kind of found one already. And I point down to
No,
Branwen's crossbow.
no, that's not.
Nope.
What?
She's talking
I thought-
about the.
I thought that was part of the thing.
Nope.
No. She's
Your
talking
sword.
about
The
of
Raven amulet, Essie, and
in the book.
the
Oh, on the book.
Pull out the
Okay.
amulet.
All that shit.
yeah.
The first set of quest items. Yes.
The first set of quest items.
Yeah.
Sorry, in video game terms, but yes. I just. And Esmeralda just sits there. She's just like, the way I see it, and maybe I'm looking at it wrong. The way I see it, you're giving Strahd literally everything he wants. And then what? What if nothing comes to intervene? What if you're standing up there looking like a fool and Strahd gets what he wants?
Then
Here's
we've
an
been
idea.
duped, and we have Strahd in a place where we would want to kill him anyway.
Here's an idea. What if we send runners with the stones to the places we need to and give them a signal of some kind if things go wrong?
Those shrines are so scattered. What signal?
That's a fair point. Man, I'm just trying to think of something here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break.
If it was up to me, I mean, none of them are our friends.
They really
And
aren't.
Agreed.
if it was up to me, I would weaken Strahd. I would get all the weapons needed. I would use this as a trap.
And then you want to go up against Orcus with a weakened
mean-
vampire lord.
A weakened vampire lord is still a vampire lord.
And that
He's still
means,
powerful.
but also that puts the power in our side in case Strahd tries to do something funny afterwards.
We could just make him agree to us weakening him as a temporary precautionary measure.
You want to agree
You won't agree
to that?
Rictavio kind of looks at you and just, odds are, as soon as you remove bits of his power, as you say, it won't be too long before he'd be aware of that fact. Granted, you might not notice it right away, but as soon as something affected him that shouldn't,
He would notice.
he would notice.
Well, in that case, we just
I mean, you might be able to, and he kind of like sits there for a moment. He's like, I mean,
well, how
I
about
don't know
this?
what these powers give him, so I don't know what it would take away.
Well,
He's
how
gonna
about
sit
this? We do our
confused.
plan. We go against the Orcus, and then if Orcus shows up and we win, Strahd, everyone here is back out. Barovia is now part of the real world. And I look over to the
We
vampire
can raise an
lords, and
army.
I go, the pillars will still be there, and the stones will still be around. Get my drift?
Hmm.
We raise an army.
We still have
Raven-
leverage, so we
Strahd
can
is a conqueror.
But he is one
Freaking-
man.
They just look at you and just. It's
Crazy.
more than that. It's you're gonna get the common folk to pick up pitchforks and raid the
Yeah.
castle again. You're gonna convince all of these downtrodden people to do the same thing that happened last year. You want a green march from this village as well?
We don't want to do what the Mad Mage did.
We aren't him.
And you hear just from the back of the room, what if he's not dead? Comes from John in the back corner.
What do you mean?
The Mad Mage?
What if he's I can't
is he
swear
what?
to it, but I heard rumors. Some people say they've seen a wizard in the north, in the forest.
Could
Think
we
they're
bring
following
him
it,
with
but
us?
Well,
I don't know if it'd be him. But
we got his
It'd be an
book.
idea.
I don't know. I'm just sorry.
No, that's
It's a
fine.
fair
No.
point.
Okay, so what if he isn't dead? What would he do?
He's a powerful spellcaster.
He also might have information that we don't.
Could know what not to do. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's John just kind of like pipes back down again and kind of like starts to sink
I mean,
down
you
in
would
between
be the
Gaynor and Irene a little, and then just kind of
I just kind of give
embraces himself as he kind of sits back up, kind of more confident of himself.
yeah, I just kind of give him a look, kind of like a little nod, like no, you like kind of like the whole like no, it's fine to talk.
Like you can clearly see he's trying to import himself in the situation, but also
Yeah.
not outspeak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And from the back of the room, there are a lot of people talking, but yes. So that's another potential thing.
Well,
However,
if the Mad Mage is alive, he might have more the missing pieces of the puzzle. So, and if Orcus is in the Emperor Temple, or a shell, or whatever it is, those are more pieces to the puzzle.
I mean, an avatar
maybe
can't be that powerful, can it?
so
Of
right?
the Demon Lord.
Hmm. But surely it's not going to be as... It's not going to be that big of a jump, right? I mean, it's Strahd we're talking about.
I mean, if Strahd's afraid of this avatar, it's probably a big deal.
And Esmeralda kind of looks over the room again and just says, I mean, if I just you all had dinner with him, yeah? Did he say he's seen this thing? Did he say like how the weddings have been interrupted? Like
He did
He told
mention
us
how
how
the
she
weddings.
died.
She always dies.
at the
Either
you
by-
just see Irina's face again, like she knows, but just like a steel reserve kind of comes over
Yeah.
her face.
Unfortunately,
It's
the
not
past
good.
lives of Strahd's wife has either died in an accident, they've been killed, or something else weird. Even in an instant, I believe Strahd said that the past wife was willing to go through it, and then something happened. That's why protecting Irina is our best bet.
If we protect
Let's put
Irina,
it
we
this
win.
way. We saw in his castle a wedding banquet, still sat, cake and all, on a broken window, and everything's still frozen in time.
I was going to sit there and pause on that
In
thought for a moment and think about it.
that, the way that looks, that means that she must have been killed in his castle under his gaze.
Which means
Alright.
it wasn't Strahd.
She just kind of like looks and thinks. She's like, okay. So, she's still not sold on this. You can see Rictavio was just like squirming in his chair, and he finally pipes up. My one goal for coming here was to kill that bastard in the castle.
Your one goal. It's not what I heard.
And them
And
aside,
like
I was stuck here
glaring at
anyway.
him.
He kind of looks at you and just. My original goal was not to kill him. But upon finding out he's here, I can't let him live. I damn sure won't let him get away. It's not my nature.
Why?
And if he knew who I am, he'd kill me on sight just for the sport of it.
Kamos stands up, just kind of goes in the middle of the room. He's just like, well, at least for me, I think the play, and you guys might disagree, don't use the stones, but get more information, get all the weapons that we can. I look at Branwen, kind of like down to her crossbow. Get everything as all the information as possible. Possibly find this mad mage. Figure out if there's anything we might be missing that this mage might know. And then go through with this wedding and lure out Orcus. And then after the fact, if Orcus is there and we defeat him, then we could use the stones afterwards. And I look over to the vampire hunters. I'm like, then you guys could do your job if you want to go after a weakened Strahd after that, because after that, you'll be back in the real world.
Very true.
I'm not going to let him get away either. I'll probably follow.
You just have to be aware that either A, Strahd will be so afraid of Orcus that after when we start fighting him, he may or may not join us. Or B, Strahd was either going to try to fight us or run away after the fight because he knows that we're probably going to be after him too. Strahd is power hungry, but and not the smartest at times, but he's cunning. He knows how this stuff works.
Very true. And there's just a general consensus of agreement. The Raven folk kind of look to Erwin and Danica, and Erwin kind of looks to the group and everybody around and just, you've saved my entire kin, so whatever path you choose. And kind of looks over to Bramwin. It's like, we'll follow that. The two hunters are kind of sitting across the room thinking things about themselves and thinking of things. You've gotten decent pushback from a couple of people. Rictavio's not happy with any of this plan. Neither is Esmeralda for the most part.
Of course.
They're not like that's rough. All right. Does anybody else have anything they would like to input into this?
I don't know. Kembo's just like said a statement, and he's like looking at Branwen, kind of like,
Yeah, no, I know you just made a statement, but at
Yeah.
that's the reaction of like,
Yeah.
the Raven folk are like resided to whatever will save this land, and they've kind of resided their vote to be with Erwin. So Erwin has not placed a vote yet about what to do, but or if there is a vote to even place. But as you look over at Branwen, is anybody else in the
You
room
know,
have
I
anything you would like to say?
yeah, I'll let everyone else speak first. I've spoken a lot.
I look at Osgood, and I'm just like,
I don't know. I see Esmeralda's point, and I see Octavio's point. As much as the two of you might dislike him, I think that he has a valid reason for coming here.
Octavio kind of looks
I'd
over
be
his like,
inclined to agree
we're
with
going to
him
release
if
that
it
thing
wasn't
on
that
the
there's not a
world
demon.
if you let it out.
I'd be inclined to agree with you if there wasn't a demon lord. My issue is, even if we kill Strahd, another is going to take his place if that demon lord remains. It is never
If we
going
kill
to...
Strahd, Strahd is coming back.
Fair point. He can revive infinitely.
because
This
Orcus
land traps at people.
Strahd is already dead. He'll come right on
Esmeralda
back.
kind of poses a thought. Wait, this land traps people, right?
Aye.
And she just kind of thinks for a moment. It's like, but the Vistani can get out. If Strahd lets him out. But Strahd can't leave. And she's just kind of like starting to piece some things together here and there. It's like,
So why can't he leave?
and the people
What's
can't
preventing him?
leave. And she's
The
just kind of
Vistani
trying to
non-people?
piece things together. Yeah, sorry, you did whisper that to Branwen.
Hmm?
She said something, didn't you?
You
What was whispered?
What did you say, Chi?
You said that people can't leave. Does
Oh,
that mean
people
that
can't leave.
Vistanis aren't... He raises an eyebrow like, huh?
Jeez.
No, I'm just.
Oh.
It's all just.
I was going to say perhaps
Things don't make
some
sense.
shit. I don't know. They really
right,
don't.
the lines aren't adding up. That's the problem.
He hasn't given us everything he knows either. I know that there was information he
course not.
withheld, but I mean that makes perfect fucking sense for a man like him.
The only thing we've heard about the Vistani, the true Vistani, is that since they were already people of this realm or land or wherever, they have the power to leave, but anyone else who came in is subject of the curse, aka anyone who started here.
But that's the whole point. Everyone that was in Barovia was trapped in Barovia.
Except for the Vistani. who could
So
leave.
if they are, if they are of
Why would there
Barovia,
be
like
exceptions
everyone
then?
else,
The hell
Orcus
aren't
might
we
favor
finding
them.
it?
And
No,
there's
it's
something
just
with the
more
Vistani.
Indeed. Questions and answers.
unless there's more to this contract or more.
Maybe the Vistani are like the
Esmeralda's just
jailers of this jail.
Esmeralda's kind of sitting there pondering. It's like, I don't know. Let's
So
see if the thing.
here's my question:
Here's your answer.
if the Strahd gets his power from Orcus, that's his deal. That's this whole thing. Why would the stones weaken him when they're of whatever the hell has been dealing with you? And I point to Kalmar.
All the Fanes have told me is that they also made a deal with Strahd and for power or something, and he betrayed them.
What's to say that the Thanes aren't the ones who are actually doing this?
They totally can. That's why I haven't trusted them. Because they've told me directly that if I take the third power and I point to my stupid little branches, he goes, I'm stuck in Barovia forever. But if I want a weapon to fight against Strahd, similar, and I kind of glance down to the Branwen's crossbow again, I go, I need to take third power. So he just kind of shrugs. He says, and they don't want to give me straight answers. Well, one of them does.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And as you kind of say this, the hunters are just looking at you very strangely. Like, you're tiefling with flowers coming out of your head anyway. It's very odd, but like this getting a weapon business from some power that's apparently also helping Strahd doesn't calm their nerves at all.
I look at them. I look at them with just kind of this look of like, and I just kind of say, I get it. Trust me. And I just kind of shrug like like I get it. Like, you know, like I'm like more on their side, but I'm part of the situation.
I wonder, are the people who are assisting Strahd, are they bound and unable to break their own contract? Is the reason that they're helping you to kill Strahd because they can't annul the contract themselves?
I mean, the majority of the Vistani, no offense, I say that as Essie, aren't exactly helping.
They actually seem to
But the
enjoy
things
this situation.
Or at least be okay with it.
Yeah. That gives me pause to thinking that they and Kamal stops for a second. He goes, I get a feeling they're almost acting as the watchmen, that they're working for Strahd, but they're really the jailers for Orcus.
Esmeralda kind of looks over at him with just like a gas look on her face. It's like, I know I was separated from my family a little young, but my people are certainly no jailers for some demon.
Why?
But
Okay,
perhaps they're not.
I have no clue why we can travel through the mist. None.
so
But
correct me if
it'd
I'm
be
wrong.
ludicrous to think that a race of people would be contracted to a demon lord.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong,
That seems
but
like a very powerful contract even in our terms. And she kind of looks over at Octavio like scared eyes almost. Like, yeah, that's that's powerful contracting right there. Could happen, but I don't know. What were you saying, Bregman? I'm sorry.
do correct me if I'm wrong, but Vistani are human. Orcus is a vampire god. Like, that makes no sense. Why
I don't
would he?
Yeah, I wouldn't even be worshiping him. There's no point.
But perhaps they're involved in whatever contract with the Fanes? Because there's two
Maybe.
contracts at work here.
Two contracts too many, if you ask me. As Esmeralda just kind of puts her head in her hands.
Damn
She's
fucking
frustrated.
right.
Well, and I look at Branwood again. I go, I have no problem asking anything's on my mind, but what do you think I should ask them? Because depending on which one shows up, I get different answers, which is very annoying.
I know what I would ask them. I would ask them if there was a way for me to be able to talk to them. Because you don't deal in riddles.
I could try. maybe if you, I don't know. I don't think this is a place for me to meditate, but maybe tonight I could ask, and I don't know how this works. I am not magic, and I kind of look over at Osgood and go, I don't know how this works. I just know I close and meditate as normal, and I call out to them, and then they show up.
Okay.
So
That's
they
what I was
pull
gonna say.
you into their. It's a vision state to a certain
Basically,
degree.
it's a vision.
So that means that they must have some manner of divine power.
Oh, they're definitely divines. They're not gods,
Mhm.
but they're divines of this land. They are very protective of this land.
Mhm. And as you all are deciding to talk to gods or not, Irina kind of looks up. It's like, so basically, regardless what the plan is, I'm kind of bait for either Strahd in a vulnerable position or Orcus in a vulnerable position, is what I'm getting. I did already say we'd go through with it, so no need to back down from that now, I guess. She just kind of looks over at Ismark, and he's just kind of puts his hand on her hand as he kind of steps over and puts his hand on his sister's shoulder.
I could give you the amulet of Ravenkind. It'd be a very powerful way to defend yourself.
Here's along the same line. Here's what I'm hearing. Whatever we're doing, we are using Irina as bait, and then the idea is to protect her while fighting whatever the hell. And that's
Yes,
Irina bait, protect Irina, fight the world.
fight the world, and
You
then
said
find out,
God.
and then find out who are these guys doing what, and also like what are my Fanes? What is their deal? And maybe
So-
work with you, assuming you could see them too.
Yeah.
we need to talk to gods, find weapons, and arrange a wedding.
I hate this place.
I fucking despise this place.
As a DM, I love this place. But as God in character, I would say. No. Brictavio and Esmeralda look at you and just kind of. Brictavio speaks first, and Esmeralda just kind of nods in silent agreement behind him as he says the words. I intend to kill that vampire, whether it's first or second.
And I will
I
help
will
you.
lose my life doing it if I must. And Esmeralda just kind of nods. And I hate the old man, but I wouldn't be where I am without him. So she kind of puts her crossbow on the table in agreement to Brictavio, as she will agree with him with whatever he decides.
Kama just shrugs. He's like, I get it. I hate all of them.
And the Raven folk say they will have your back. The hunters are in your debt. Ismark is at Irina's side, and if Irina's going along with it, then so is he.
Kama turns to John. He's like, John, if you kind of know where that wizard is, even if you heard rumors, if you could put it on like a directions on a small map, just in case we look out for him, you could head that way.
I can circle the areas if you have a map.
Who has the
I
map?
spotted on
She's
the
in
northern.
my bag.
Absolutely.
Is it in my
And
bag, or who actually technically has?
Who has the map?
Brandon
I have
has
it.
Yeah, Brandon has the map. I was like,
Brandon
all this
is
time.
Dora the Explorer today.
Oh, okay. Well, I've
I've always had it because no one bothered to take it off me.
No one ever took it off there. She just always had the old map, and then it's just been the old map. That said,
Makes perfect sense.
yeah. So
Brandon's
he would
Dora the
take the map and
Explorer.
just kind of like try and recall some of these things and start to like make little niches and notches on the map itself toward the northern part of the lake. And I can mark that on the map for next time because we're getting close-ish to the end of a session. But if that gets dealt with now, we can do it now, or if we can deal with it later. But But he would mark out general area, very general area where rumors have been spotted of people seeing somebody casting spells in the woods north of the lake. That's really random. But again, John, the nice member of the guard who's gone around helping people in general, would have also been the nice member of the guard to sit down and listen to the ridiculous stories that get passed off to him by
Yeah.
other guards who don't want to listen to the villagers prattling. So John is probably one of the best people with all the random stories.
Yeah. Yeah. He grew,
So he's
he
pretty
grew up.
accurate in marking
He
that.
grew up here too, so you would have heard everything.
Right. Like for a long time, and also John definitely seems like that guy that they shuffled the tottering old crazy person off to have a conversation for 10 minutes while they go and do the shit that matters.
Saying she saw that ghost again. Will you just go talk to
Yeah, it's
her?
like-
Exactly.
Go hear her story, right? Exactly.
Yeah, he's the
Like,
rookie. He's the rookie.
She's full of shit, but you're a common
young
lending
guy,
ear. Exactly.
Go.
That
We
kind
don't care.
So, well, I think at this point it might be good
Yeah.
for us to get some sleep. And I look, and Kelma looks at Brandon and goes,
Give me a
maybe
sec.
attempt a talk.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So, like, maybe we all get some rest, attempt a talk, and I look at Brandon and I go, do you want to go check out the thing John talked about, or do you want to head to the Ember Temple? And I kind of look at the rest of the group, kind of like, like, what do you think our next move is?
I'll move with you.
Because depending on this conversation I have with these Fanes might determine my decision for other stuff.
I don't know. I'm gonna look at Trovic. On your general, like, any tactics to offer? Anything?
Why
Think
does
it's good.
everyone ask me this?
Because you're the general.
I
Literally the warm
go in and kill a person, and generally speaking, don't have to do anything else.
Yes, but for most of you, that was a lifetime ago.
Sorry. But yes, so decision is more or less made.
Ah,
I like how DC goes back like decision was made. Okay.
I apologize. No, I take that back. I had to deal with kids.
Yeah, sure.
So where were we?
lifetime ago or not, Trovic? That is still knowledge. More than the rest of us.
Basically, what I worked with was an army that trained under me. This is not that.
So, but do you think we should go? Well, which direction do you think we should go? Do you think we should check out that wizard, or do we think we should go to the temple?
Hmm.
Do you think there is worth speaking with someone that failed at their job? Because that's what he is. He is someone that tried to kill Strahd and failed.
But also, he might.
I
have,
still think he's powerful.
But we're not trying to recruit. He might just have more information about what's going on between Orcus and my Fanes.
You assume he is again. He raised an army and tried to kill Strahd. It sounds like he came to Barovia trying to kill Strahd. I don't know how much useful information he'll have.
What do you guys think? And he just looks over at Trovic and at Savari.
This is a whole lot.
I think it could bear some fruit, but it seems like a stretch.
Dick Vanny kind of shouts up, just the bearded guy in the corner. And you can go chasing the wizard in the woods for a week. Who knows? I'll give you some insight on your enemy. Same time, you waste a week in the woods and the whole world goes to shit. But is the reward greater than the risk?
Nope. Personally,
Would you guys be willing to scout them for us? See if you can find them? One of the Raven folk, perhaps, and then return?
So
You can
Raven
fly.
folk are
Probably
kind of-
pretty good.
because maybe heading to the Amber Temple is a better play.
Could be.
That's how I feel as well.
There's
Mhm.
a greater potential for knowledge.
And then let's head to the Amber Temple. Plus,
Absolutely.
we could have a talk with my master and see if he found anything. Remember, when we left, he said that he will be, researching his stuff a bit more. Maybe he found something.
But he's only recently been made aware of everything else that's happened since.
Exactly.
He's had even less time to look for information than those two.
Yeah. But like I said, it's on the way to the Ember Temple.
It's true. So, and then to kind of look around. So, you guys, the Amber Temple.
Alright.
Octavio kind of says as he kind of focuses up. Kind of looks over to Erwin. Could you send a group to scout the north? And begrudgingly he kind of agrees. Thinks it's a wild goose chase, but nevertheless we'll send a couple people because it's for you guys, not for Octavio. And with that, it seems like, you might have a decision. Irina seems on board with the potential marry of the thing and the everything else.
Yeah. I guess,
Well, we don't have a decision. We have a decision that there's a wedding and someone is going to die.
Exactly.
But you have a direction,
You have a
and
direction.
choices need to be more made before another
Direction's
big
all that
decision
matters.
conversation.
I think
The
right now
direction is the heading, and that's probably the best you're going to get at this meeting.
yeah, I think right now our best thing to do is maybe head to the Ember Temple. Like go to sleep tonight, try to do the whole feign talk thing real quick, and then head to the Ember Temple.
For sure.
Mhm. Meeting your gins.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely.
So,
And it is night. So if you all would like to turn in, potentially take watches or do whatever, you don't have to.
well, I figured that Branwyn and I are going to try to talk to Fanes.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, unless
absolutely.
did you want to
certainly-
still try to talk to Fane?
Yeah, we need info.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okie doke. So. All right. Talking to a Fane.
So
Right.
while this is going on, while we're in the room,
Yeah.
I'm assuming we'll just do this in one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
and
I'm just
yeah,
going to
right.
go on the screen for ease of
Yeah.
purpose.
I just instruct Branwyn to kind of like, we'll both go on our knees, kind of like sitting on our knees, and I go, I'm not too sure how this is going to work, but when I did meditation with my brothers, all we ever did was sit and look each other in the eyes for a while, and not think. And it goes, and supposedly we had a connection or something. And then I start speaking in my head. It might work, or we might just end up staring at each other for a while. And he just shrugs.
Probably going to be the latter.
Most likely, but we never know.
Quite probably. All right. So as you kind of both position yourselves in the room and sit in a meditative stance, Branwyn trying to copy what Kelma is doing. Meditation not difficult, but seems to be Kelma meditates in a certain way. And as you all begin to clear your minds and focus, DB Fig, can I get you to roll me a D100 and let me know what the result is?
D100.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, go! 38.
Okay. So, as you stare into Branwen's eyes and begin to focus on nothing, and she stares back at you, focusing on nothing,
Maybe.
and then you begin to, well, I mean, you might be focusing on something, but attempting to focus on nothing.
Almost emerald eyes.
You attempt to reach out and communicate as you've done in the past. And in your mind, you just say, hello, like you normally would. And nothing comes to you. No feign, no vision, no summons.
I break the trance and I just look at Branwen. I'm just like, they aren't answering. Maybe I have to just do it by myself. So give me questions and I'll ask them.
I'm hoping if you don't get the straight ones, they're not going to give you answers. But
Yeah, that's the problem.
I
3-die roll.
I could cast some bone.
I know.
That's the thing that I can do.
Oh my goodness.
You agree?
I mean,
Not sure
take
if we'll
another hour.
work
We'll try it
with you.
again, but
I mean, we could try it again. I thought I'd like.
Doing this with 2 people is a lot more tricky than doing it with 1 person.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to waste
So
time,
that's why I'm just presenting the brand ones. Like we could try it staring at each other again and see if it works, or I could just play as the middleman in this conversation.
I mean, we can try.
Brandon, roll me a D100 this time as you position and try again.
Let's go.
Oh. 7.
7. This time you focus and you actually clear your head, and stare into Kelmal's eyes and him back into yours. And he clears his head, and 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 15 even. And just to the point where you're starting to snap back into consciousness and like, this is fucking stupid. This isn't gonna work. Both of your visions go black. And because of dice rolls, there's a D6.
We'll just get the straightforward one anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, feigns, pages, feigns.
The one we want, I think, is the Seeker. I think that's the one that's.
Yeah.
Natural 1 on D100. You get fucking Orcus.
I know.
We need a 5 or a 6. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, I should probably not be on jam rolls, so I'll roll that again just for funsies and flavors.
Oh, yeah,
Nope.
Unfortunately, you get the Weaver, and she shows to you, and comes into vision. Welcome. I see you've brought a friend.
Yeah.
Strange.
And not as strange as this conversation we're having right now.
Fair enough.
I'm in awe that this worked.
Yeah.
It's the first time you've seen Branwen speechless.
Branwen, you have been into this almost planescape black extra dimensional space with no top, no bottom, no floor, no anything. But you're standing on a flat ground and you see this picture of this woman in front of you, just like this image of this woman with long flowing hair that seems to almost flow into the blackness and become the darkness below, wearing a purplish dress. She just seems to be talking, but her lips aren't moving, but she's talking to you both.
Well, her name is Branwen. She's good at talking. And she has a couple questions for you.
Questions from our champion to be's friend. I will allow these. She kind of starts to speak into your mind as well, Brenwyn. You've heard this, but you now hear it almost like directly focused on you. Kelma, you can still hear this, of course, but
Okay.
what would you care to understand?
Hmm.
What can I pull back the curtain on for you, dear?
Please do forgive such intrusions. I sort of bow my head. But as you are probably aware, your champion is not the best with words.
The
I
pure
would-
of heart, Seldamar. Continue.
I would wish to understand how the Vistani fit in with a kiss. If
Kind of pauses for a moment. My sisters and I and our bargain have nothing to do with those people.
notebook.
Those people of a different land. They sway by a different hand.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the hand that they sway?
She say nay. No. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. No, she does not. But she would say it in a cryptic fashion. I'm just not good with my cryptid, so I apologize.
Sure, no problem.
He's close to putting Bitcoin.
She kind of just like dances around the answer a little bit. How they get through the mist is their own mystery.
Sorry, writing.
And she's just kind of like pausing, as she doesn't really know what
Yeah.
else to answer for that. But we do not know how they travel, only that they do. From our land to the land beyond.
Mhm.
She just kind of looks at you, and you just see like this open blank face with like pale, almost completely stark white eyes, just kind of gazing at you. You hear something pierce into your mind again. Do you have more questions?
Sorry, thinking and writing and thinking and writing.
And thinking and writing. I understand. You do. You.
What do we need? We need all the info. Sure, let's do that.
Yeah.
So, you understand that my friends and I are trying to obtain things of power in order to help us help save this land. I would ask of you where we might find such things.
She kind of pauses for a moment, and kind of clarifies her mind. Our champion to be already knows how he can obtain a weapon of might. I believe your champion knows another being that may be able to assist them. The winds of
Brahman throne.
change are ever present around one of your party, a newer member. And that fate is obscure. And a far traveler's fate has been chosen but not decided. This is what I know of the items of power that you supposedly seek,
You just hear a
though you
grumble.
lack the knowledge.
You just hear a grumble from Kelma about the whole console of riddles.
I mean, you're getting the Weaver, man. You're getting the Twister. The fact that she gave you as much straightforward shit as she did is kind of impressive. You got like
I
4
mean-
good lines out of it.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It could be
Well, I
worse.
mean, to Kelma,
Kelma, it's all fucking
Yeah.
gibberish, and he's just like annoyed in his own brain at this point.
yeah, in his mind, he's just like, just tell us.
Oh, of course, I'm aware of what he's like.
Yeah.
She kind of pauses. And that is all I know of that. Kind of looks at you. I would afford one more. Do you have a third question, Brandon?
Yeah. Just thinking how to word it.
Okay.
What is the capital of Serbia?
um. Yeah. If we were to go attempt to fight the avatar of Orcus, vampire, would we receive help from Strahd or those below him?
She pauses and thinks. Her face kind of shifts and changes again as she presents her next answer. And she says, sorry, let me take a drink of water because I'm getting dry.
That's
He
a
doesn't-
weird riddle.
It's a weird riddle. The
Third
lack of
fucking
water
liter
has
of
made
water
it to be
right
dry,
now.
and that is the end of your answer. No. She responds, I'm trying to think how to properly word this in a riddle.
I'm
Ridley
giving
says,
you all the tough ones.
I know, you're killing me with this. It's great. And my riddles are shit anyway. The Okay. She would say to you, strong power would accept assistance as long as it's beneficial.
Okay.
However, a snake can never be trusted,
Mhm.
nor properly tied in its own knot. And that is all. And Kelma, you would hear this in your head. Remember, champion in training. All you have to do is promise to defend our land. And what you seek is yours.
What I seek is to go home, but you have already denied. So, all right, I have someone to talk to that I respect more before I make my decision. I look at Brandon like,
And as you say this, both of your consciences kind of begin to fade out of the black space, and it begins to like fade back into just the regular room until you're looking across the room from each other once again.
Did you get the answers you wanted?
Kind of.
Kind of. Oh, sad.
I mean,
No, I know it's riddle.
yeah.
Riddle.
But we do know that the Vistani are not tied to the Fanes, and they're probably not tied to Orcus.
So there's a third thing at work.
There's something else going on again. This just is getting ridiculous.
So, in short,
Welcome to Curse and Strahd.
yeah.
Doesn't
So in
only
So
a
in
book.
short, the Fanes aren't all the bad guys. They're just one of many.
Maybe.
I was hoping that the Fanes would say that they were tied to the Vistani, because that would help us understand whatever Strahd's contract with the Vistani was, with the Fanes.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, no.
No.
They're more, as I said before, they're focused on one thing and one thing only: to become the rulers of the land again. This was their land, and they feel that Strahd or whoever put Strahd here took it over.
And that is what confuses me. Their contract is the thing that confuses me the most, and that is concerning.
That is why I haven't accepted their final gift.
Well, as you all come to consciousness, this would have taken the better part of an hour and a half to 2 hours of you meditating and doing, because you took the hour that you wasted, and then you took the other hour to do so. While that was happening, was anybody else doing anything in the pub? Or in the rooms, or in the area, or in the stuff?
I'm very drunkenly singing a sea shanty in the corner
What was that again? My internet is being weird.
to myself.
Sorry, while they are having the weird
in the
And
background.
it's still
visions
being
in the
weird,
room.
of course.
Vision Quest.
Yeah, I had a vision quest.
Blue, can you hear us? Blue, check 1,
Otherwise,
2.
Blue. Red versus blue. Can you hear us?
Oh
Blue?
no, I don't think Blue can hear
I think
us.
blue. Oh, well. So
Blue.
Sorry.
Well,
It's a no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Off and on again. Yeah, no, that means our whole internet's going to shit. But
Yeah,
as
I'm
you
back.
all are doing, you're back. Yay!
Hey.
You're back.
Yay.
Cool. Sorry. I don't know if you were trying to interject and say stuff during any times recently, but
I was gonna say Safari has had several drinks.
okay.
So have I.
Everyone's getting drunk except for the two people meditating.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sea ships and rather frightening derays.
Absolutely, and you are getting
Safari ain't drunk.
well drinky downstairs. As you all kind of finish your meditations and things like that, I'm gonna say you were probably up in one of the upstairs rooms trying to be quiet and things. If I can get everybody to make a perception check for me.
Imp was in the room the whole time.
Everyone, hang on.
Everyone, I would say, come on, Branlin, with disadvantage because you're upstairs.
Okay.
Oh, okay, disadvantage for me.
Upstairs, yeah. Yeah, disadvantage for you, Kelma, sorry. And no.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen shit.
Okay.
Cool.
I saw everything.
You always see everything.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Wicked, you there, buddy?
Yep.
Nope.
Honestly, I think it was lagging for everybody.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
like everybody.
It's fine for me.
Discord did a whole shit out. But no, I'm still here. If you can
Nice
roll me a
to-
perception check for me, Dennis. Thanks, sir. Perfect. Okay. So, you would, Trovik, nearest the door and probably downstairs and everything else, would hear the whinny of a horse coming from outside of the building itself. Granted, the glyph of warding is still on the swing doors. but you would have heard the whinnying of a horse from the outside of the establishment. The rest of you inside, drunken and too busy to.
Should I?
Do I hear it?
Oh, yes, I would say you would hear it just faintly. But y'all would be in Rictavia's room because of not going through the door to
Yeah.
break the ward. So yeah, but you would hear it on the far side. Yeah, so I'd say you would hear it as well. You hear the whinny of a horse. What would you like to do to it? You're the only one who's really heard it on the first floor, and Brandon's upstairs.
Right. I'll step outside. Take a look.
There's a. Okay.
Okay. So as you step outside, you see a big old black horse.
Yeah.
It's a black horse. Where's it at? Does he have a name? He has a name. Perfect. Of course he has a name. So yeah, you can clearly see,
Oh. That's not good.
you see a black horse. And riding on its back is a slim, bleak-looking half-elf. Dusk elf. Dark elf. As he's now ridden up to the entrance of the Blue Water Inn on this flaming nightmare. I come with respect from my master and an inquiry about the state of the fair Irina Kolyana. Will she be joining my lord at the castle? And that's where we're going to end this session. So, we'll pick back up on that next week. Next week will be a session. The week after will not be a session. The week after that, so 3 weeks from now, will be a session. So, thank you guys for all your patience and understanding for life stuff coming up, and we all being responsible adults.
Exactly.
What's your responsibility?
Sure.
Is it edible?
Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna pass that one back over to Fig.
Okay. Again, thanks everybody for coming on through. If you ever miss any of our sessions or want to kind of catch up on the story so far, make sure you subscribe to the One Shot Tavern on YouTube. I put a link in the stream chat for right now. Again, we do truly appreciate those who come out and support us in this way as we kind of go through this for something that's been over a year. This entire campaign so far, but we do appreciate your support. And it's definitely getting more and more interesting as we've gone through. But other than that, you guys have a great rest of your evening. I'll be back personally tomorrow with some more gameplay streaming. And you all take care. Bye-bye.